3 hairs I have left on my head are hopefully there crossed as well.
We're live. Hello.
Hey there, fellow travelers.
Let's see who's here. Hi, Eric. It's nice to see you. Hello,
Cheers,
Andrew.
buddy.
Yeah, Eric, I hope you enjoyed your time in Savannah, and we'll chat all about it. Hi, Ronnie. Champagne.
Champagne Sumo, it's okay. We respect the champagne.
And the Prosecco. Hi, Talia. It's nice to see you. Lori, hello. Mache. Oh, we saw something. Where was that? In South Dakota.
We saw Tessier, like, not town, but it was like a store.
It was a store.
It was by Wall Drug.
No, it was by the Corn Palace. It was at the Corn
Palace. Oh, it was
Palace.
in the Corn Palace.
Yeah.
That way? Okay.
Yeah. So, hello, Stephen. That flew by. So I don't like when I'm subscribed. I know don't get automatic emails when you upload a video. You have to hit the notification button. That should take care of it.
And even if you hit the notification bell, it doesn't always go through.
Right.
Because
you gotta do this.
So that for anybody you subscribe to, you have that to always go back again and check them occasionally because we get people on both our channels going, oh, you're still making videos? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even get like when I'm logged into Professor Wolters, I don't always get Wolters World. I'm like, that's like one I have.
Yes. So,
hello there, Kathy Wolters.
Hello, Mark Finley. Hello, mom-in-law. Hi, Thomas.
Hi to your mom. Mama Mia.
My mom's on too. Hello, Mom.
Dude, we got all the cool people.
So is my sister and my brother-in-law. Of course, my brother-in-law says, hey, Mark, but not Jocelyn.
Well, you know, he knows. He knows
guys,
the cool kids.
That thing, right? Oh, let's see.
Oh, Stephanie's on there too.
Yeah, my sister's there. And Peter. Hello, everyone. So many.
Hey, Rachel in Seattle. Lushy's back. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Mark Finley. Vagabondy. Nice.
Yes. Mark Nickerson.
Oh, Mark Nickerson. Always another shut up, Mark.
Yeah.
Ooh, got a drink.
Is the Christmas tree up yet? No. Praise God.
I did ask. I figured, after this year, why don't we just put it back up and just enjoy it? I was listening to Christmas music today when I was putting together videos and writing recommendation letters for students.
I was so pleased.
You were upstairs. You didn't hear
it.
You heard nothing.
I heard it.
You thought it was Monster Mash. Ooh, Brig is saying hi by letting out some really dangerous gas. Oh my goodness.
You just ignore it. Like what else can you do?
Choke.
So,
Nick P, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, and Nick says the Corn Palace, the most overrated thing in South Dakota. I loved it, but I also studied it in one of my architecture classes, in one of my historic classes. And it was, I don't know, it was really fun to see. What I like about it is that it's different every year. They have, so it's this beautiful building. It has changed throughout the years. It's got these minarets and towers and things that have evolved throughout the lifetime of the building.
But the cool thing about it.
But the cool thing is the entire outside has got these huge murals made entirely of corn cobs. There's some what we saw, sorghum and some wheat and millet or something. So there were some other different things on there, but generally speaking, the whole thing's made of corn, and it's really cool, all the colors and stuff. And this year, 2021 is their 100-year anniversary of this building, and so they had really cool murals celebrating all of that.
And even when it's not murals, the entire outside facade is corn. Like, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And then we went inside, and there were murals on the inside because it's a gym. It's actually used.
It looks like a high school auditorium / gym kind of thing.
Well, but
so the seating is like an auditorium for concerts, and it's got like a gym thing in the middle. But it was nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So they had that was one place that had some pretty good. They were like, I'll give South Dakota this. South Dakota has got a game when it comes to T-shirts. Because when you travel Europe and you want to get like cool T-shirts or something like that, they're all lame. It's all the same, like all the different faces, but in different languages, saying smile and happy and sad. You're like, ugh, lame. But there they had good stuff. Though they did not have good stuff in my size, which I thought was funny with all this beef and corn. You'd think there'd be more shirts for men of my girth.
Thomas agrees with me. It's too early for Christmas music. Hi, Joe. Thank you.
Thomas has been traveling. He doesn't know what month it is. Thomas, October's tomorrow, man. I mean, come on.
Margaret asks, any tips about traveling to Maine? Is it best to go in the fall? Maine's really lovely all the time, but during the fall, it's fantastic. One of my girlfriends and I went up a couple years ago for a girls' trip, and we did leaf peeping, and we went and saw all sorts of stuff. But Acadia National Park is stellar during the fall, and it's kind of like you got this 2-week window and you never really know. There are quite a few sites online where you can just Google like the best time to see it, and they'll tell you. They actually monitor it through the fall, but like right about now is usually peak, like the end of September. The last couple weeks is usually really good.
So I think Travel Nick P makes the point. They said, talking about the Corn Palace, he said they had some real corny t-shirts there.
They did. Yes.
Check out his channel for more corny jokes.
Hello,
that was good, buddy.
Sloan Mama. It's nice to see you. Hello, Megan.
So, sorry.
Megan said she likes that you're using the chalice again.
That's right. We're getting fancy. We've been on the road for 4 weeks now, so it's time to get a little more
Bust out the chalice.
Mm-hmm.
We bought these in this really cool town. It was Oro Preto, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Oro Preto.
No, it was that little town.
It was a town where the...
Tiradentes.
Well, yeah, no, it was Tiradentes. It's like where the first president was, and they have a statue of him, and he was assassinated before he even got to take office.
Yeah. But they make a lot of pewter things, and they're comparably to what you would buy in the U.S. quite inexpensive.
Yeah, fraction of the price.
Yeah, for our prices.
We have 2 of these, one for each of us, and then because when we were there, the kids were, I mean, it was like
young.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
So the kids were like 10 and 5, and so we got little like little mini chalice shot glass size things for them. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah. Talia, Liam is still working on the typing. We haven't gotten into one of the things. I've got several sites also.
And thank you all for sending those to help out Liam.
He's feeling better about it. Like he's putting his fingers there, and then he kind of still hunts and pecks with these 2 fingers, but he's getting his hands in the right place. Yeah. So we've made a step in the right direction.
And he is finding this stuff quicker. So it's because I remember when I was a kid, and they'd be like, "It's A B C," and you're like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
He's catching on pretty quick that way. So that's good.
Yeah.
I will say for all the parents out there trying to keep up with all the homework your kids have to do, sometimes it can be a little difficult.
Peter says the leaves are changing pretty early this year because it was so dry. So take that into consideration if you're looking up in Maine. K&P, nice to see you. And K&P are in Tampa. My sister is not far from there. And my brother-in-law. Hello, Darian. It's so nice to see you.
Be safe driving, buddy.
Yes, you better be using the speech-to-text whatever thing. Have you ever been to the Poconos? I have not been to the Poconos.
I have not been to the Poconos either.
So, hello, Troy.
Sorry,
go ahead.
It's your channel. I'm just here. I'm Ed McMahon.
Okay. Claradia, I recall y'all saying you have family in Brazil. Could you talk about what's going on in Brazil right now? I saw it's open for travel. I'm thinking about booking a trip there. So, Mark lived in Brazil for a while and has exchanged family. I mean, they're like family to us. Yeah,
like when they called to say that one of their son was getting married, there was no question we wouldn't be there. And actually, my parents came because their son lived with my parents in high school, and then I lived with them when I was like 29.
Wait, it was between your master's and PhD, right?
No, I visited them. I visited them. I
thought you lectured there between...
That was in 2006. That was between my master's and PhD. That was between teaching and PhD.
Yeah. So what is going on right there? COVID, they've got a lot of high numbers, particularly in the cities because, I mean, people are living, neck and neck. I mean, everybody's like kind of packed in. So that's as much as I really know. I know that where his family is, they're like in a tiny little town on the coast, and they seem to be okay. Like they're okay. Like, it's fine here, but their town has what? Full-time residents, maybe 200?
No,
am I stretching it?
400. Come on.
So they're not having issues. A lot of it just has to do with, how close people are living together. So that's as much as I can give you as far as personal information that we have. So thank you, Thomas. That's kind of you.
So someone's asking where we had gone on our trip. So we were in Illinois, visiting family. And then we went to Nebraska. And then we were in
Missouri, then Nebraska.
Missouri, yeah, but we actually did stuff in Nebraska. And then we went to Wyoming, and we were in Cheyenne for a week because our car broke. Well, actually, on the trip, first we got to my parents' house like 3 hours away, and her mom's house.
The blinker
and
went out.
Blinker went out, so we had to get that.
Do you know
fixed.
how you know when your blinker goes out? When you click to, your blinker, you turn it on, and it goes ding, 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 really fast. That means one of your lights is out. That's your car telling you that. So right before we pulled into Mark's parents, that was going on. And so I made an appointment and we went and I got that fixed. And then we were in Nebraska. Well, we were staying in Cheyenne and we went back into Nebraska to see Chimney Rock and Scotts Bluff. So we get to the top of Scotts Bluff.
We were hoping to get a car hinge too, but...
Right. So we're going up Scotts Bluff, which, by the way, Mark was driving and thank God he was, because I was like... white knuckle terrified the whole time. I couldn't.
Jocelyn will have that video on. It'll be on Jocelyn's channel, Simply Jocelyn, this weekend. Because I'm gonna have her because we filmed it all the way up, and Jocelyn's like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, and I'm laughing because it's just going up back and forth.
But it's like.
But we'll have.
It's like a 700-foot drop at the lowest point. Whatever.
It's fine.
It was too much for me. So anyway,
so I'll try to figure out. We'll do like a video of the drive, and then have like Jocelyn like in the corner down here doing a little chat.
We should have had another one of me going.
You can have one. Well, we have you like freaking out and like talking because I just listened to the video today. And I'm like, oh, that's a good. I'm just gonna put that up on your channel.
Anyway, so we got to the top of Scotts Bluff, and Mark went to turn off the car and take the key out, and the key wouldn't come out of the ignition. And we did all the things to get it out, and then I looked online, and they're like,
it back.
There's something wrong with the gear shift. So we got in, and thank God we have an extended service plan. Because we drive our cars until the wheels fall off. Like, literally, things fall off of our car.
Yeah,
and that's when we...
Like, our Flex, literally, stuff was falling off as we were driving down the road. And we're like, okay, it's not good. The door
that's the best way to get your money out of a vehicle, is to drive it until the repairs cost more than the car is worth. That's my having grown up in the car business kind of tip for you. So anyway... we called the Ford dealer in Cheyenne, and they let us drop the car off in a locked portion of their lot and left the keys right there in it.
Of the Hyundai lot. The Hyundai people were very nice.
Well, but the Hyundai dealer is part of the Ford dealer.
I know, but they was just like,
So anyway, so we left the car there. They got it fixed. It would have been like a $500 repair, but we only had to pay the deductible. Here, you can put that extra too here. So it was $100, but we had to stay for an extra 2 days.
But I like Cheyenne.
Cheyenne was fine. Actually, we went to a rodeo. It was really cool. It was our anniversary.
We went to a rodeo, and then the next day it snowed. Like,
and
no kidding.
We were sweating at the rodeo. It was so hot.
It was like 94.
It was so hot, and then it snowed the next day, and it was absolutely really.
We were supposed to get like 10 inches, but they only got like a dusting.
Hey, the Gallivanting gals are on. Hello, it's nice to see you. Steven wants to know if they're allowing trick-or-treating this year. So I think it depends by each town.
Yeah, so the CDC put out a thing saying for big family gatherings, for Christmas and Thanksgiving, they suggest not to do that because you're inside. For trick-or-treating, since you're going to be outside and less contact, they said that could be okay.
Dog.
But it's going to be a city-by-city neighborhood, like a city-by-city thing. Hi, Brig.
I saw a really cool thing where someone had taken PVC piping and made like 2 little stands and then a chute down from their stairs so they could shoot the candy down to the kids. I thought that was kind of cute. It was done in orange, which was kind of fun. So, hello, Larry in Barcelona. He lived in Brazil for over 6 years. That's cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm not going to say your name out loud because this might be a surprise, but someone is proposing to their girlfriend in January, and we love y'all. Thank you, and congratulations.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll be overseas, so I'm getting a bunch of people who are important to us to make a video saying congrats, etc. Can you say something real quick?
Well, sure. Hey, Damien, why don't you write me directly, and I could just we can put together a little video, but you can say... Was it Hallie?
Haley.
Was it Haley or Hallie?
I would say Haley.
Okay, Haley.
Hey, Damien, so direct message us on like Facebook or Instagram, and we will do that for you and make sure we get the right pronunciation and stuff. So
yeah, because we've done that before. We did a couple.
Yeah, we've done it for
a few
several
videos.
people.
Yeah.
So we'll just say hey and congrats.
Actually, I did one this week. No, in Idaho, one of my former students, one of her best friends, is a super fan of ours. Not a superhero, but a super fan. Mm-hmm. And she's like, my friend couldn't believe that I knew you. I'm like, I was just your professor. She goes, I know, it was hilarious. She thought you were important. I'm like, what a fool. So we had a good laugh. Break, climb. Go.
So Nick says that 4,000 feet isn't that high for Scotts Bluff. I did Pikes Peak, which is 14,000 in Colorado, and that scared me on the way up. But on the way down, it was super sweet. So I don't mind going up and down as long as there is a guardrail. And there isn't one on Scotts Bluff, which was too much for me. And the Tetons going down, I just threw it in a low gear, by the way. If you are unfamiliar with driving in mountainous places, you need to learn how to switch down to a low gear to get a little more oomph going up, and also to slow yourself as you're going down so you don't have to ride your brakes the whole way. That's a pretty important thing just to know. So, yeah. And hello, Chris Bates. It's nice to see you.
Oh, Chris is on. Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
So, Stephen, Mark is back at the correct eating and working out. I haven't been doing any of that. I'm back on it.
It was going well. Actually, it was going okay until we got to like halfway through the trip, and I fell off. Now I'm back on it.
I haven't lifted in like 5 months. It's pretty bad. But
I'm going
to the gym.
I'm doing my morning DVD workouts every day. So there's doing that. Still have really good. The flexibility is getting back relatively quickly. So just got to get the pounds going too. So we started eating healthier. I mean, granted, we're having whiskey and stuff tonight, but healthy eating's back. So it feels good because you can tell when you've been eating healthy, then you don't eat healthy for a little while. You're like, oh, I feel gross. So we're cleaning out the I feel gross time. So
yeah. So
we're getting there. Sorry, I was just trying to write someone back that just wrote us.
And Andy says, sorry to interrupt your office hours yesterday. No worries. It's online. It's public.
You'd be surprised. Like when I do my office hours, very few students ever really watch them because I filmed all the videos for the class. So there's like, 280 videos, 300 videos for them. And so they just watch those. And so if they have questions, they can do the office hours, but very few of them hop on. So I'm going to start doing some different stuff for them starting next week. We're going to have some
fun stuff.
Yeah, because next week we're doing, I'm going to do it with... You're
going to play Would You Rather or something?
No, we're actually, we're having some artists get on to talk about managing their business and their artist community stuff.
Cool.
So we're going to be doing that. So
the gal said, imagine that drive in an RV. I thought of y'all several times.
And I laughed and said, see? I told you.
That's why I want like a size B motorhome and not that gigantic Class A that y'all had. That's just insane. So, okay, there was one I wanted to discuss.
So Tara has asked a few times, would y'all go on your road trip?
So Tara, we started out, from our house, we went to where Mark's parents and my mom live, and my sister, and one of my sisters. And we stayed there for a couple of days, and we left, and we went through Missouri, but we didn't really stop because it wasn't a very long drive. And then we went through Nebraska, and we stopped in a few places, and then we stayed in Cheyenne for longer than expected.
But I like Cheyenne.
Cheyenne's a cool city, or cool town. They've got some really nice like prairie and like 1920s to 1940s architecture, which I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we went up to Jackson, Wyoming, which is in Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is the valley between the mountains, and then the town is Jackson. We stayed there for 4 or 5 days. We loved the Tetons. We had such a great time. The kids, we drew, we did watercolors when we were out. We really enjoyed a lot of that. And then we went, from there, we went to Idaho.
Yeah, went to Idaho.
Which is right. We were like 15 minutes from Yellowstone. It's just across the border. That was probably our favorite place because we just had this great little cabin in the woods. It was us. We made breakfast, lunch, and dinner at least 1 or 2 meals a day, if not 3. And Caleb and I went fly fishing. There's so much that we did. We went to Yellowstone.
The time in Idaho, like the cabin we had was just perfect. It was relaxing.
I'll stay there again.
Yeah, I mean, we played guitar. I played guitar a bit outside, and there was like bears outside occasionally.
We heard wolves one night and coyotes the next. And you can kind of sort of differentiate.
You can tell the difference. Don't worry. You're like, I don't know. I got the because you're like, that sounds scary.
Coyotes are more like really high pitched. I think.
One is like, Another one's like, I'm a little scared.
Yeah. And then we went to Bozeman. And
I went to Yellowstone a few times.
I said we went to Yellowstone, then we went up to Bozeman, and then we went.
I like Bozeman. Bozeman was nice.
Bozeman's a cool town. I wouldn't want to live there in the winter or anything like that, but Terry, yes, I have some cooking videos planned. Actually, so I did the eats of all these different places, and I'm gonna try and make some of those things in the next month. Just like some of the special things that
Dorothy Lynch dressing.
Yes, some different things. And then also I want to start doing some like stews and soups and stuff because it's that time of the year, right?
And you got to get started on your Thanksgiving stuff.
Thanksgiving, yes. Mark wants me to make videos for all my Thanksgiving.
You wanted to.
Well, I do, but you were like all excited about certain ones. I don't necessarily want to give everyone my recipe for my oyster stuffing. I
guarantee. Nobody here cares.
I know, but I cares.
No, like this is one that it blows my mind. It's like you're not. What you're gonna hide it from the world? Mm-hmm. Like this is why we don't have grandma's. Why we don't have grandma's chicken and noodles recipe? Because she hid it and it was in her mind, and then it was struck. See,
it's gonna die.
It's for the children.
Kathy.
Also, we went to South Dakota for a week. We were in Deadwood. We went to Devil's Tower. We went to Custer in Montana. Little Bighorn. We went to Spearhead.
Great conversation with a Native American guy outside of Little Bighorn. They were all like, "Okay, it's time to go." I sat and talked to that guy for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, what happened
to you? He was a wealth of knowledge, and it was just so cool.
And he was the guy. I think he was the guy that owned the place, but he didn't be like, I own this place. He was really cool.
I didn't know it until we left, and I saw his name on the door. So if you go to the Battle of Little Bighorn, there is a Native American thing, right?
General store.
Yeah, like a general store right across.
And get the Indian taco. It's a taco on fry bread.
Good.
It was like legit amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
So let's see. Yes, thank you, Kathy Wolters. Please hit the like button to help Jocelyn out. We're trying to get her to 240,000 minutes of watch time, and every like counts, and every subscription counts. But also, so on the trip, like Jocelyn was saying, she did a bunch of like the eats of Nebraska, eats of Idaho, eats of Montana, eats of South Dakota. Mm-hmm. So that will all, and then there'll be the eats of Illinois. That'll be all. It's funny though
because a lot of the stuff like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, they have a lot of similarities. So I felt like I was doing the same thing over again. But
there's enough differences.
There were some differences certainly in all of them, but really good food. Like we ate, when we ate out, which wasn't real often, but we had all the major things to have, and it was really good, and we really we enjoyed it. I've decided that I like bison a lot better as a ground meat, as a burger rather than a steak. So that was sort of a thing. Oh, he's making it moody. Terry said,
we had
somebody
the Christmas tree
spaghetti ice? No, we don't need a Christmas tree, Mark. It's freaking September.
I was just suggesting.
Shut up, Mark.
I guess it's your channel. You can do what you want.
That's right. Talia says, I went to the gym for the first time in months to do new body pump release, and I cannot move my arm.
Oh, I know that feeling.
I bet you hurt, sister.
I could never get into body pump like I could like body jam back in the day. I loved body jam before Zumba came and destroyed body jam.
Melinda says, thanks for having this tonight. Needed something worth watching this week. Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
I think we all do. No,
and that's all I'm going to say about that.
The only childish stuff going on here is us interrupting each other. Oh, wait. Same thing.
Hey.
Shut up and drink.
There you go.
See, but we drink. All right. So on we go.
It was funny. We had a live when we were on our trip, and Darian, that's on here, he wasn't on. And we're like, oh, we should say spaghetti ice 3 times. And they'll show up. We said spaghetti ice, spaghetti ice, spaghetti ice. And then he showed up like 30 seconds later. It was.
I don't know how that happened. I have this feeling that he knew. I don't know. It was really crazy. Yeah. What's Melinda says, what's up with the tenderloin in Nebraska? Truly thought that was an Indiana thing.
That's actually a Midwest thing.
It is a Midwest thing.
The huge one, that is totally Midwest. Because that was the thing, is I have the notes for what to eat in Indiana, and that was one of the things that crossed over with Illinois, and then it crossed over with Nebraska. But not a big thing.
In Iowa.
Well, maybe, but like in the Mountain West, it's not really big, because that goes to more chicken fried steak. They kind of go into that, but yeah. Yeah, I know that was one of those things, guys. We'll have to come over and see you guys, y'all, when you're back, or if you're there. When we get over there, we're gonna have at least minimum. Let's see, this big.
No, they are enormous. It's kind of crazy, but good. So.
Yes.
Well, Thomas, I hope that went well with your new doc and that she's getting things together. Hopefully
You'll be good, my brother. You'll be good, my brother.
Hi, Francis. It's nice to see you. And Lee, good to see you too. Really, really, really needed this. So glad you're all here. So yeah, after we did this twice a week for months on end when we were all stuck at home, I feel so relieved when we get to see everybody and talk and hang out.
I know. I feel bad we don't do it more, but now it's like,
life is a little more crazy now. We're doing a lot.
The kids have online school, and they're online until January. And I'm online, but I have to do all kinds of live stuff too for school. And it's just gotten a lot more complicated.
I know I'm the only one that doesn't have I was gonna say poop ton, but I don't have. I know, but I don't have quite as much stuff as you all do.
Well, we could make you have a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I'm reading books.
We could.
I need to have a book club on Simply Jocelyn.
There you go. You should.
I have read how many books did I read? I read, I don't know, something like 2,000 pages worth of books in August, and I think about that again in September. I've just been like, it's because everybody else is taken care of. For the first time since I've had children, everyone else is taken care of, and I can just read books. So that's what I'm doing.
Hey, Eric B., what's TTT? I don't know what that one is. You won fellow Traveler of the Week on TTT stream today. I don't know what the TTT is. There's a 2 traveler together or something?
Maybe.
Let me know. I'm trying to remember. Cool.
Did I see buffaloes? Yes, we saw buffaloes when we were traveling. What's funny is also I forgot to tell y'all, we stayed in Deadwood for a few days. And we stayed in Deadwood because years ago, something you probably don't know about me, I sold motorcycles for a minute. And I went out to Sturgis and sold bikes during Bike Week. Actually, it's where I sold my first bike. It was really fun. But I wanted to take everyone out because it was such a great, cool place. But I didn't realize that a lot of the things that were really great you can't do with kids. Like there's far more casinos than there used to be. I mean, just it's kind of nuts.
Which will be in the domes of the Badlands in South Dakota.
But when I went out there, 10 years ago and sold bikes, I remember driving from Sturgis or riding from Sturgis to Deadwood, and there were we got out, we were like Tatanka, if y'all have watched Dances with Wolves. So we went out and we saw all these buffalo, but we didn't see them open range. No, I'm good. Thank you. I didn't see them open range this time, but we did see them in other places. So that was pretty cool. And we saw elk. but we did not see any bears except for at a bear refuge, which was pretty neat too.
But when we were there, so there was, if you look online, you'll see a grizzly like took down a like huge bull elk. Massive. Which we were there that day, but we were not where that was.
And the rut is going on right now, which is like the elk are like crazy and mean right now. So for him to have taken it down the way he did, that's a big thing. Grace says, do you have any tips for traveling with older parents? I'm in my 20s and my parents are in their 60s. Love you guys. So we travel with our parents all the time. And it's great. So here's the thing, when you're planning, y'all need to like talk and be really clear about what you want to do, what they want to do, because they may be different things, and what is really feasible, because as we all get older, we have like sometimes, we just get tired earlier, or like your dad likes to eat at a certain time, which is far earlier than the rest of us want to eat. So we kind of negotiate around those things, and we all have different interests. Part of that is, am I going to a place where I can feel comfortable going off on my own, and they feel comfortable going off on their own? So there's that part of it. And what do you have to add to that?
So Grace, if you search Wolters World multi-generational travel, I actually have a few videos with my mom. We've done some live feeds to talk about that. We've done Q&As about that. They don't get a ton of views, but it's really helpful stuff. But I would say, like Jocelyn was saying, a lot of it's going to be, what you're going to see is what you want to do and what your parents want to do might be different. And since, I don't know, like if your parents are paying or you're paying, if your parents are paying, they're like, well, we're going to do whatever we want. That's a ticket to problems. Make sure you schedule time for like separate. Mm-hmm. So there's stuff you can do. So make sure there's some things you want to do. Like, look, Mom, Dad, you guys do your thing. I'm going to take today to myself. Because I used to travel. I mean, we got together when we were 30. And
shh, don't tell people that. They'll figure out how old I am.
It was like 2 years ago. Anyway,
that's right.
And but I traveled all the time with my parents in my 20s, and we had kind of like a thing. We would do our own thing, and my parents would go back to the hotel or whatever, and I'd go explore a little bit on my own. And we had kind of an understanding, because if you try to do everything together, you're going to get frustrated. I know my brother got a little frustrated with my parents.
I remember that story.
Because my mom wanted to go shopping all the time. She would look at the shops. I'm like, dude, you just say, go ahead, Mom, and you walk away. He's like,
you let her do it.
And he's like, oh.
You don't have to sit and wait.
And well, but he was trying to be nice. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was trying to look out for my mom. So good job to you, Brett. I mean, that was cool. But it was like, dude, you can leave her alone and she'll be fine.
And Kathy and I go shopping together, but sometimes we don't. Like, sometimes we go off and do our own things, too. Mm-hmm. Often we just leave the men folk and we go on our own. Like, just...
Yeah. But I will say, one of the things is, when you're looking at your trip, since your parents are in your 60s now, I mean, if you're in your 20s, you probably remember going on your vacation with your parents when you were in your teens. And believe me, from the 40s and 50s to the 60s, 70s, there's some difference. Your parents won't be as... probably as spry as they used to. So make sure you're planning times for them to relax. It's not backpacking through Europe, 20 countries in 5 days kind of stuff. So give it more time for that. Also, make sure when you're planning it,
insurance is important if they're on Medicare.
Yeah, if they're over 65, because Medicare will not cover their insurance
outside.
They should buy the insurance no matter what when they're going to go travel. So you have that. Like except if you're in the U.S., you're covered. But like if you're
outside the U.S.,
yeah.
Lee Bridges says that the Meadow Resort in California burned down, and they lost their entire wine collection, and that's bad.
That's like millions.
That's bad stuff.
Yeah, no. So when we were in Idaho, actually in Grand Tetons.
Thank you, Eric.
So we were in Grand Tetons. What was it?
When
we were in Grand Tetons, we had one day it was perfectly clear, beautiful, and then the smoke came in, and we had about a week of smoke. So when you watch like my Idaho videos and Yellowstone videos, you're like, why is it so hazy? What did he smudge his camera? No, that's the smoke from the wildfires. So they had to wait for a herd of bison to go by. Yeah, that's one of the things is like when you are driving in Idaho and Montana and Yellowstone, you're like, it's so beautiful to look everywhere, and then you're like, you gotta be careful because it might be a buffalo's going through or elk or The pronghorns. Yes, you're touching me, so I guess that means you want to talk.
I do. Shut up, Mark. Everybody, take a drink. Jerry says, countries that require COVID tests within a certain amount of time. What all does that mean? And how does one go about fulfilling those requirements? So here's the thing. Jerry, you need to look on the State Department's website and look at the requirements for each individual country. If you are going to the UK, go to their State Department and their stuff will be spelled out. I can't tell you everything because every country's got something sort of different. Often it's like you have to have a negative test within 72 hours of having flown. What was it? Bahrain, I think, was doing where when you land there, they give you a test. It's like a rapid test. And they've been doing that since like April or something. Mm-hmm. But it's different for every country, so you need to look at that specific country. Can't give you like a really good overall thing, but it's very clear when you go and look. So, all right. Kagi says, bison are beautiful. I get a quarter each year for dinners. A quarter bison is massive amount of meat. But good meat.
Each year, once a year, that's all you need.
Yeah. Peter saw a marmot in an Olympic National Park. That's pretty cool. And Lee had to stop their car in South Dakota, wait until a herd passed by so we wouldn't alarm them. The bull male gave us some impressive warning snorts as he walked within 3 feet of us.
Oh my God. You were in the car. Thank God.
I don't know that the car can protect you from a mad bison or a buffalo. Like that could be scary. Yeah.
So there's your marmot. Which looks like a guinea pig. Oh, not a guinea pig. The prairie dog.
Prairie dogs. Oh, we got to feed prairie dogs. That was really cool too. We did some crazy cool stuff. And that was the surprise. I love those surprises, and that's what road trips are all about to me. Those like moments that you have no, plan, and it just sort of happens. So, hey, Traveling the World's on here. Hello.
Thank you for the shout out, by the way.
Nice to see you guys. Traveling the World, they're really cool. So thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Chris Bates, we snowmobiled Yellowstone for a work event. The entire park so cold. I heard a bison walk by us as we stopped on the road. Kind of scary. Yeah, don't make eye contact.
Yeah, no kidding.
Isn't that the truth for so many wild animals? That's really important that you don't make eye contact.
Pretend like you're not right? There. You're like, hey, la la la. No, that is one thing. I mean, people. If you look online, people get the bison in Yellowstone and around there. People get hurt every year because they think, oh, they're so cute. They get close, and they can be the most docile animals, and then they just go. And you'll see video after video after video of people flying. But
flying?
Seriously, they go flying.
I know, because they've been thrown.
But one of the best you'll see in some of our videos when we do Yellowstone around there. There's this great sign when we came into West Yellowstone. It was like social distancing, bears 100 yards, elk or bison 25 yards, and Edna 6 feet.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. That was outside Yellowstone. So when we were we went into West Yellowstone. A good friend of ours from high school. He owns a place called Big Sky Anglers, and he and a couple other guys, and they do fly fishing. But in the winter, they also do snowmobiling tours. And I didn't know that, and I was like, that would have been cool to do. They do float trips and all sorts of stuff, but we went. Caleb and I went fly fishing, and we fished. It's called the Box Canyon. It's the Henry's Fork of what? Shoot, I forgot the name of the river. But that was like such a cool experience. That's one of my bucket list things to do, and I got to check it off, and it was really good.
So Greg wants to point out, he said he took his parents in their 80s to the Barnes Museum of Art in Philly. Oh, nice museum too. Shared Airbnb with them, and they were done by early afternoon with the rest of the day on my own. That's one of the things. Greg, thank you for reminding me, because that's one thing when my parents and I would go, because I was in my 20s and they were in their like mid 30s. They'd come back and they'd chill out. We'd have dinner together. I would take them back to the hotel, and then I'd go explore in the evening in Rome or Spain or something like that. So that is also another option you do have.
Lee says, my 66-year-old husband, Mark, can still lower himself to the ground on one leg, do a back roll, and stand up on the other leg. He's going to live to be
Boom.
120. That is something that I notice a lot in the
or the
summer.
bisons will get him.
Stop it. The summer that we lived in China,
I
took the kids many mornings to the Black Bamboo Forest and or park, and there were all of these older people, and when I say older, I mean from like
70 to
90 years old, and they were doing the most incredible calisthenic stuff. I'm like, wow, it was really incredible. Like, and Caleb was running around and playing on the equipment and whatever, but you know what? It's like a body in motion stays in motion. So I promised myself at 40 I would still be able to do the splits, and I can still do the splits. Like, just
I'm almost back to it.
It's just a matter of continually doing it and trying not to lose it, and I think that that's pretty amazing. So I don't know that I can do the back roll because I would get dizzy. I get dizzy now as an old person. Not that I'm old, but Gallivanting Gals says, are y'all done with travels for this year now? No. Mark has like 35 other road trips planned. No. Okay.
No,
so
I have 12.
Shut up. So can I just tell you what happens every freaking time we come home from a trip? Just shut up, Mark. Just don't even talk. We're going to do this. So as soon as we get home from any trip, I wake up in the morning and I walk downstairs, and typically Mark is on the sofa because he has the jet lag, and he's like, I found tickets. Shut up. He's like, I found blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God. So I thought that this trip, we wouldn't have that. No. I open my eyes. He rolls over, and he's like a squirrel with a nut in the morning. He's like, hey, hi, I'm awake. And he's like, hey, guess what? So I was thinking about this other trip. And I was like, oh, shut up, Mark. I'm not a morning person. And my husband is like, he's already got all of these road trips planned. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I can't do it. Just let me at least like take my first shower at home in a month before we start planning the next trip. But he has one planned. So we're thinking about possibly going down to doing a Texas road trip. Caleb requested to go to Texas because the kids have not been there.
Psychotic about it too.
Yeah, he's really pumped about Texas, which is cool. It's a great place.
These are the 13 trips I thought about we could do if we can't travel with COVID very far.
Mm-hmm.
So it's themed destinations and the way we would go there. But I didn't do that the first time. I did that before we even got back.
Mark, that morning you woke up.
What? Happy and what? Happy? Excited?
Happy to wake up next to me.
Exactly. I don't know why you get upset that I'm so excited to wake up next to you.
That's not what it was. It was because you were
That's something exciting.
Trip.
But anyway.
Oh my gosh. So yeah. So we're not done. And we need to make a little trip over to Indy and see you girls and hang out and talk about lots of stuff.
Gals.
I know, but they're girls.
True.
Anyway, there's a great Peruvian restaurant from what I understand in Indy, so I would like to go and maybe we can go eat in that place if y'all are up for it, because I really want to do that.
Anyway, so Lori Sims was talking about how last year she was taking her younger son, and I gave each of us a free day and a half to do what we want, not scheduled. Yeah, those things, the little things you do right there.
Oh, is good.
Those who wander in Sydney. Hey, sorry, we got a bunch of things we haven't got to yet. I apologize.
You've been stuck.
Sebastian here from Band 320.
Oh,
hey,
cool.
I'm going to guess your grade's doing very well right now. I think you have over 100%, so good job.
Grace says, any tips on visiting Giverny in France?
Okay, so when you take the train up, and then there's like... Make sure that how would I say this? Not flowers, but make sure that it's like going in the winter. It's not as nice because you don't see it. Like, if you go when the flowers are out and everything's alive, like summer, spring, you're like, I can see what he saw, and you're like, this is so cool. But yeah, it's a whole industry getting people to Giverny and getting them back and separating you from your money. So it's easy. It's totally easy to do. So don't even worry.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see.
Darren can do Darren, you can't even do a banana split. All you do is a spaghetti ice.
Spaghetti ice.
So there is that.
Yeah, right. Hey, Christian, nice to see you. Why are you saying hi to Mark and not me? I'm sad now.
Because
yeah.
Let's see. Moving down. Tickets to shut up.
Tickets to shut up.
Good to see you, Ryan.
Lee says travel tip for LA. Look up the 10 best taco trucks / shops.
Oh.
Visit them one by one. They're all different in different neighborhoods, and that's a great way to see LA. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I like
So Lee, we were because one of it depends how the kids' school ends up in the spring, but that's one of the things we were thinking about doing the entire going down the coast, the U.S. and LA is part of that. So if we can do that, that would definitely be a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Mark
Ronnie,
says,
hush.
Texas. Yes, and we will stop obviously and see y'all and hang out for a minute. Talia says, "OMG, you need to stop in Arizona." So New Mexico, Arizona would be a separate trip from the Texas thing because that makes it really long. But I do want to go back. My kids haven't been back, and I really have this pull to go back to Tucson and Green Valley a little bit. I know you're up further north, but I want to get back to one of my homes and see it. So, all right.
So Lee Bridges, have you thought about entering a competition with Nick Kristof of New York Times to see who can visit the most countries? I think he's up to 150. We can't catch up to that. We don't have the time.
Well, it's not. It's not. I want to experience the place. Yeah. So I know a lot of people want to do like these really fast things or not fast, but just get to them all. But what's the point of getting to it if you're only there
What's up, Will?
And you don't really get to like digest it? I want to experience it. So no, it'll take us forever to get. I would love to get all the countries in the world by the time I die, but man.
Well, if that's what you want, you figure we'll make it about 75, 80. Okay. Your family lives to about 112, so you get those last 50 without me because I'll be long gone by then.
Lushy says, Jocelyn, what is your favorite book? Pride and Prejudice is probably my number one.
Didn't you read that again?
I read that again on the trip. I'm a Jane Austen junkie. I was supposed to actually be at the Jane Austen Festival
#2
weeks ago. Yes, not happy. Here are two books that are not on everybody's list because they're older. One was actually out of print for a long time, but it's called Delirium of the Brave, and the other is The Damned Don't Cry. Those are like The Damned Don't Cry is very like it's a Southern Gothic book, but I just absolutely love it, and I love anything in the Hang on, what's the series called? I'm going to screw it all up.
Hey, Lee, you're in Oklahoma, right? Or you?
No, Lee's in LA.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, with the
Leshy, it's Carlos Ruiz Zafón, Zafon.
You love him. He died.
I love him. He died.
She was heartbroken.
I was really heartbroken. Anyway, the library. What is the name of that series? Anyway, there are 4 different books.
You have them right over there. Just go get them. I can answer questions.
They're standalone books, but you can read them. You can read them in any order. And why are you going to slice ginger and onions? That's funny.
They're making ginger carrot soup.
Oh, I missed that.
Which sounds amazing.
That actually sounds really
it is.
good.
No, honestly,
thank you, Christian.
Ginger soup is like it's weird. Like there's a lot of different versions of it. Lord of the Rings for the win. Heck yeah, that Lord of the Rings. When I read,
I've never read it.
Lord of the Rings. The first time I read it, when I read about when the Ents were hitting the walls and their roots were taking down the walls, and how Tolkien explained it was the first time I really understood great literature because it was like I could see a tree hitting a building and then the roots going through and making it crumble like a historic building. You're like, oh my God, I can totally see that.
Okay, hang on.
So Lee, the LA thing. So I don't know if they'll be there, but there's a thing I'm supposed to be in LA in May. So at least I'll be there. It doesn't get canceled. So
Leshy, it's The Cemetery of Forgotten Books is the name of that series, and it's all the same sort of characters. Some are new, some are old, blah blah blah, repeated, whatever.
Cemetery
of Forgotten Books. It's incredible. But hey, look this is what I bought on our trip. Yes, that's what I bought on our trip. I bought 10 books on our trip, and like 7 of them are cookbooks. Yeah, I got a bunch of cool.
Yeah, I was like, go ahead. I'm good with that.
Like, I have all the books. I need to start like a whole library of just cookbooks in my house. So.
Oh, Frances liked Emma better.
Oh, I like Emma. You know, the very first one I ever read was Northanger Abbey, so it has kind of a thing for me. But there's just as soon as I start Pride and Prejudice, like the first chapter just makes me laugh out loud. Like even though I know everything about it, I still laugh out loud. Traveling the world. Are you going to answer that one?
Okay, so traveling the world. Yes, that's what I was trying to answer. What is the best way to visit the Amalfi Coast? 5 or 16-year-old barf bus? No. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, I'm not kidding. Every time I've been on there, people puked all over the place, and it's a really tiny. Just my stomach's already twirled. Just no. Should I hire a private guide or do a minivan tour? The difference is 40 euros. How much time should I spend there? If it's a private guide to a minivan tour is 40 euros, do it. Pay the extra 40 euros for yourself. Because then you get to leave, because they always stop at like all the ceramic spots, and you'll pick some stuff up and you're like, I'm good, let's move on. You can do that on a private. In the minivans, there's always like, oh, let's go see this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a big thing.
But I would definitely, so if you're going to stay like in Sorrento or Naples, usually what I tell people is like you take the train to Naples from Rome, and then you take the Circumvesuvia, which is like the local train, to Sorrento.
Which is squishy. Please have very small bags.
Yes, lots.
How about the Americans that were on there with their big ass bags?
Yeah. It's not. It's a safety. It's a safety thing. It's not. It's a safety thing. Serious safety thing. And so you're gonna go, and there's a lot of pickpockets, so be careful. But train station Naples at least. But you get to Sorrento. Use Sorrento as your base, and then you can do a day trip to Naples and go see the museum there and the castle and see that. You can do a day trip to the Isle of Capri, see the Blue Grotto and all those kind of things.
Very cool.
You can do
hike up to the very top to Anna Capri. That's worth seeing.
Or you can take the little.
Oh yeah, you can take the
which is, I think it's the same seats you have at the fair, at the carnival, where they twirl you around in the swings. It's about the same seat, just FYI. Then you can do like a day. I would do a full day for Pompeii, half day for Herculaneum. Jocelyn likes Herculaneum more because it's smaller. I like, and my sister-in-law likes Herculaneum.
There's also less
too.
people, and I feel like you can get into it more.
But like Herculaneum, you can do on your own. Pompeii, I recommend a guide because there's so much to see there. It's unruly because there's so much to see.
Thomas says, I'm friends with Jodie Picoult and saw her in Bath, England. That is really cool. But Thomas,
who's that?
She is a writer, and I have a couple 3 of her books probably. That's really cool.
You know what would be cool if you wrote a book and people could say they don't have an author. They know what. Yeah.
I'm a reader, not a writer.
For those that don't know, I'm an author. I'm a published author. I have 2 books.
Mark, cram at your pie hole.
3rd book coming on social media marketing, ebook version this winter. So if you want to learn how to do social media marketing for your business or your stuff, it'll be available.
Galvate and Gal say, hey, did you say the boys aren't into Disney? We're currently planning a trip November 11th through 24th. Maybe that would be a good road trip for y'all. So we've done that road trip. Our kids
never again
dislike Disney. Oh, well, it was really fun though. That one time when we went down, we picked up my sister and Joe and Karis, and we all came up here. And do you remember we drove up together? That
Disney.
Was fun. No, it wasn't. But that was fun when we all road tripped home.
Yeah, we had like the mega super 12
passenger van. It was insane, but we had fun. No, our kids are not Disney fans, but they do really like Universal. Yeah. So, and I'm kind of with them. Like, I remember Caleb how old was Caleb? Like, he was probably 8 or 9 when we went to Disney, and we got there early because we stayed in one of the park hotels, and we got in. And
pay the extra money on any of those.
That was actually really worth it for us because the morning was great. We did a bunch of stuff, and then we went to Tomorrowland soon after the park was like open for everyone, and it was like we turned a corner, and Caleb goes, "It's like Beijing, Mom."
Well, and he wanted to go back to Frontierland because it was old school rides, and that's what he liked. And
yeah, he really does like that. Well, we all do, really.
Yeah. Well, even Liam now. Liam's like all about it. He's like, no,
he's going to be a roller coaster junkie. When he was 5, we went to Great America, and somehow he was able to do this. What the heck is the name of that one? It's got like 5 loops in it. I mean, it's probably one of the scariest coasters at Great America, Chicago. And that kid rode it like 5 times. He rode the first time with me.
Oh yeah, he rode like, oh god, he went like.
He went with Angie. Yeah. He went with
Angie
Laura.
Twice. Laura twice. Angie once. You went with me.
He was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. Hey, hi, Bubba Spartan. It's nice to see you.
What's up, brother?
Bubba says, our hotel in Montavasia, I believe, went out of business as the hotel never got in touch with us, but the owner did. Luckily, got refunded and helped to book a different hotel. Montavasia is really cool. You'll like that. It's kind of a special place, and not like people get there, but not enough people get there. And by the way, y'all, Montavasia is this cool little place in the Peloponnese region of Greece, and it's really special. And I think that everyone should kind of. I feel like a lot of the Peloponnese region kind of gets brushed. Away for the islands in Athens, maybe Thessaloniki.
I think one of the things you'll see is the islands become preeminent because a lot of Europeans go there just to party and do the beach stuff. But like for cultural travelers, the islands do have a lot to see. But the Peloponnese, I feel, has a lot more like.
You've got so many historical, mythologically based sites and things like that. But it's like all the stuff you learned in history. Like my kids are so part of my family is from right outside Sparta, and the other part is from right outside Corinth. And so they get really pumped about all that, like at church, and Paul's writing to the Corinthians, and they're like, those are our ancestors. Like they figure that out. And then, the Spartans and we are Sparta, and my yaya, my grandmother's family is from like you could spit on her village from Sparta. It's like right there. And that whole region, my dad and I went, and we spent 2 weeks of a 4-week trip just seeing all these places, and they were all so significant historically, architecturally. It's just and people miss that. What's that?
Nothing.
It's Tolkien in another language?
It's Tolkien in another language. So I read the Silmarillion.
Oh, in Spanish.
Silmarillion in Spanish. That's how, Bubba, you know what I'm saying, brother? You know what I'm saying, Francis? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I want to say, Tolkien, Silmarillion by itself is insane. But in Spanish, even more insane. So...
Lee, can you message me, because I would like to know more about the Houdini mansion and this archaeologist.
Night, Nick.
I would like to know more about that, and it's really interesting to me because within my preservation stuff, I worked with archaeologists, and all that. You've got me peaked. So there. No, I'm not a full nerd like the rest of you, because until I married Mark, actually when I was on bed rest with Liam for 4 months, that was the first time I watched all the Lord of the Rings.
And I gave her, of course, like a true Tolkien, I only have the extended edition. I never bought the movie version, blah, blah, blah. No, extended edition DVDs. Only way to watch. Only way to watch. Hot take. Don't bother with
Lee says Austin's awesome. I wrote a takeoff on Emma featuring animals taking place in Yosemite. The priest was a vulture, the daffy friend was a rabbit, and Emma and Mr. Knightley were marmots. I love that. That is really cool. Is that somewhere that I can read it?
That sounds like the cartoons we'd watch, when you were in grade school, and they would have like Peter and the Rabbit, so you learn about
so
music. That sounds like
for kids.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool thing.
I was thinking, it sounds like
Lee, you're so talented.
One of the things we would do for the kids before we take our kids on a trip, we often prep them with TV, movies, things like that from the places. Like before we took Caleb to Rome, he watched the Bugs Bunny where they're in the Colosseum, and I know that I'm dumbing it down, but it's such a cool way to be able to, for people who aren't necessarily into things like Austin, to be able to digest that in a different way. So
this is for Christian Valdez. So Christian, shoot, you're not gonna be able to watch it. So on next week, I'm actually on a panel because we have Latin American History Culture Week or month this month. Yes. And so the college I work at, we're actually putting stuff together. So we have Latin music night, Latin jazz night, and we're actually having some musicians come, and we're going to talk about, like, I'm on a panel to speak with them about, the issues that musicians and small entrepreneurs have with getting their business going, but they don't have a lot of business background.
Christian needs to tune in.
I totally thought about you, but it can't because it's going to be on. I think it's going to be on Zoom. Yeah.
Oh.
But if it isn't, I'm going to send you the link, Christian, because I thought that would be something to be interested in. It's from 2 to 3 Central on October 6th. But like I was really like happy they invited me to be on the panel.
That's cool.
So we're going to talk about issues that.
You have
that
spent
artists have to
a lot of time in Latin American countries too.
But the thing is,
but also the marketing end.
Yeah, it's more the business side of it, like being an entrepreneur, being a musician. How do you run your business when you have all the guys in the you got your studio crew and you got these people you got to pay, and how do you keep things going? So.
But I think what's cool that obviously you understand the business end of it, but that you also have a great understanding of Latin American culture, which I think is kind of cool. There was something on here. Oh, Francis had written, there are things, and I don't know if this is part of something else, but there are things where you can attach pockets to your bra to carry things, and there are, and it's a brilliant way to do it. The problem for me is that then I'm digging around in there. So maybe you put the stuff that you don't think you're going to need to spend or whatever in those, because it is a little awkward when you have to reach down and get the boob money out. Do you remember? Oh my gosh, I think it was Lori and Jeff. Jeff and Lori were in New Orleans.
I finance Amy Fresh, by the way.
And they were talking about the boob sweat money.
Yeah.
Lady, they paid a woman and she pulls out all these really wet bills from her boobs, and they were like, keep the tip. It's pretty funny. Oh, hey, Chris says I got a Wolters World mask. It's a good size, and the hangy thing is cool. Works great. So glad you like it.
If you all want to grab some, you go to the woltersworld.store. We got all kinds of things available. Got more stuff in.
I do love those masks. I'm telling you.
I don't. Now I have, so today I had to go to the store, and I didn't have because we were washing the ones with the straps. And so I went in. I'm like, what do I do without my? I feel like a dumbass. Yeah.
So
I love being on the customs
because when we were in, we would be in Jackson, and then there's no people for 4 blocks, on the outskirts of town. You just drop it so you can breathe again, and then put it back on when you see people come in and whatever. So it was just so nice to just be able to drop it and put it back on. I loved that.
Yeah, Lee was talking about, they were talking about Disney, how they had to lay off 28,000 people. Yeah, it's bad.
It's terrible.
Oh, and I do like these point, where to go? If you see famous people in LA, usually they're actually okay people, because most people in entertainment aren't bad, because if they're jerky addicts, they're a liability and people don't want to work with them. So
yeah.
Like at most things, get the hell out.
If y'all watch my channel on Fridays, we do a cocktail Friday, and my friend Sandra has worked in the film industry, but her husband Charlie's been in film for eons. I mean, forever, and he will tell you they did production.
Bye, Darian.
And bye, Darian. Thanks for coming. He did production and what do you call that?
The site management, not site management, but they go and find the destination.
He goes and finds the places.
He was a destination
location manager.
He was a location scout,
and then he also did location management stuff.
And he's an awesome dude.
But anyway, he's you know the really good actors are the really kind ones, and the ones who are kind of douchebags are douchebags because they're not very good. That's kind of, he didn't say it that way. I mean, that was my interpretation of what he said, but he's like, by and large, most of the people are really not as pretentious and what stuck up as we who are not in the business understand. And that was my experience in Savannah. There we have this huge film, it's not huge, but it's a fairly good sized film festival, and a lot of people come in, and Savannah's had so many movies made. Savannahans just kind of we're used to having famous people around, and it's just not a big deal. So that's, you get used to it, and I would have to corroborate that. People are generally pretty cool.
So Lee is talking about how she teaches fencing. I don't bother asking parents what they do because of my job, and one of them had to go like, oh, we got this thing this Sunday. It was the Oscars. That's cool. Yeah, no, but they were nice about it.
I know, right?
That's one thing.
That's cool.
Because I've had students that have been like, I mean, their parents are like multi-bajillionaires, and they're like totally cool. Like I had one, she went with us to the Germany trip. I loved her to death. She was so fantastic. I can't say her name because it's on here. But her dad is like the like steel magnet in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
She was the most wonderful, kind, fantastic person. I mean, I'm like, you ever need a reference? I don't care if it's 30 years from now. I will write one because she was a great student, super sweet, amazing person. And when we went to Germany, she was like always learning the culture, all kinds of stuff. It was really nice.
She was very culturally sensitive.
I miss taking the students abroad.
That is something that students or that not students, but just people in general are not always culturally sensitive. I mean, because how often do I see people and they're just not thinking like deeply about the culture they're experiencing. They're comparing it to their own and what's new and different, and that's natural to do, especially the first time you travel abroad. But
the thing is, people by themselves wouldn't be rude about it. They wouldn't want to, but it is one of those things. Sometimes it just comes out, and you're like, oh, and then later on, you're like, God, I was a douchebag about that. Like you kind of catch yourself later.
and it happens. But she was outstanding in that.
Yeah, she was wonderful. She was awesome. Because I remember she went back and she's like, yeah, I got to go work for the company. She's like a senior vice president of Black Market. Like, oh my gosh.
Galnet and Gal says, so is the Pirate's House really haunted? So the Pirate's House is a restaurant in Savannah. I actually was a manager there right after college. That was what I did for several months until I got into my job in preservation. Let me tell you, yes. So part of what used to be the Pirate's House has been torn down. It wasn't the historic part. The historic part is definitely off kilter spiritually, and y'all know I am a Christian, and so I don't really get into like a lot of that. But I promise you, weird shit happens there. I mean, stuff happens there. There were nights I had to turn this building was so big. It's big now, but they used to have these cool little rooms off, like private little dining rooms. They were so neat. But I would have to. Robbie. Yeah. Well, actually, and that room we were in is one of the creepier ones. The one across from it is the worst. You would set an entire tray of food onto, like, I'd take it out for my servers and I would put it onto a tray jack and I would set it there, walk away, no one's around it. It would be sitting for like 2 minutes. The entire thing would just flip over and everything would be on the floor. And everybody in the room's like, ah! But there were places where I would turn off lights. I would have to, at the end of the night, I'm flipping things off. And all I know is that there were places where I ran. Like, I was just afraid. I just ran. And Megan Morris, yes, the SCAD Film Festival is what I was talking about, and it is really cool. I actually had a friend who had a small piece in it when we were in college, which is pretty neat. So, It's Troy. When I was stationed in Savannah, I met more celebrities than anywhere else. That's kind of the truth, right?
See, I've never met like my here's the entirety of my celebrity scenes. One, I was in college and I was going to school in Vienna, and I saw Steven Tyler across the pedestrian way. And
that's cool. What?
Talking to me or them?
You.
But I saw him.
I'm also reading.
I was not allowed to say hi, but the cute girls that were in our program got to go and get his autograph. That's one. Two, I was checking into a hotel in Chicago that I got on Priceline for like next to nothing because it was last minute to go do my PhD defense. And it was like, I got to get something. And the guy that played the FBI agent in Blue Collar was behind me with his wife, and he was a super nice guy. Like, I'm like, that dude looks really familiar, huh? But he's super polite. And he's like, let me go first. Whatever. I'm like, thanks, man.
Very polite.
And yeah, that's it. I've never met, seen, known anyone. That's why it's funny when people see us when we travel. Like, hey, you're famous. I'm like, dude, no. Dude, we're YouTubers.
Wait, there were the
that's
people
like
the really nice couple. Well, I met the Nelsons at
South Dakota at Waldrug?
No. The Nelsons
Corn
were
Palace?
at the Corn Palace. They were really sweet. They recognized me. Nobody ever recognizes me. That was kind of cool.
More people recognize you on this trip than me. So.
And then we ran into that other couple. We were taking pictures, Mark was doing a really quick video, an intro and an outro at Waldrug. And we were kind of trying to like get out of these people's way, and they're like, "No, we're waiting to talk to you." It was
really cool. They were real nice.
Very nice.
And then there was Mario, who was from Florida but originally from Argentina.
And the guy, from Argentina. That's right.
Yeah, so.
Galvant and Gals, they'll have to check it out when they're there at the end of the month. Yes, do check it out. I'm going to give you really quick, anybody going to Savannah. So 45 Bistro is one of my favorite places. It's inside the Marshall House. What do I get all the time? The
beef carpaccio.
Thank you. My gosh,
it's really phenomenal. Good. Fried capers.
The fried capers kind of set it apart. If you want like a regular low end but really great fun pub, go to the Rail Pub. It's on Congress Street. Garibaldi is good. Those are like old standby places.
I like going. Well, you know me. I'm all about Tubby's.
Yeah, Mark loves Tubby's. If you want fried seafood, go to Tubby's.
They have one on River Street, and there's one out on Thunderbolt. I actually like the one on Thunderbolt because you can kind of chillax. Yeah, I remember going there.
The one on Thunderbolt's like the locals go to, and
yeah,
I used to live 3 blocks away.
So
we used to ride our bikes or walk there. You know,
that is where I heard LeBron make his decision about going to Miami. We were there in 2010.
Oh, Mark Finley got to spend a whole day with Nolan Ryan one time. One of the best days of my life. I bet he was a really cool guy. Yeah, I bet he was very neat.
Yeah, Lee, I like your categories. That is cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gals. Seriously, the beef carpaccio. I mean, honestly, that beef carpaccio was amazing. There's also, that reminds me, in Italy, if you're in Veneto, they have this. It's like a turkey.
Thomas recognized me. That's right.
That's.
You dear man.
Poor Thomas. Thomas recognized her, and then I had like my friend Tiffany called me.
We all had masks on too.
No. Remember the first time?
The only time I met Thomas was at Barnes and Noble.
I know. Wait, we already wear masks then?
Yes.
Well, all I know is
because Thomas and I were both about to have an anxiety attack from the damn things.
So, but Thomas saw her, and I came in because I totally forgot I had like a work meeting. And my friend at work, Tiffany, I love her to death. And I'm really pissed off that Poets and Quants has not put out that article yet. But she's like, Mark, I can't get online. Like, where are you? And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about the meeting. So I got online. I'm like, hey guys, Thomas, it's you. Hey, I'm sorry I got this work thing. I felt really bad.
Yeah, he went out to the car and had a Zoom meeting in the car.
I felt bad.
It's great. But it was great because you didn't mess up your meeting. So
no, I didn't mess up the meeting. I feel bad because
And I got to talk to Thomas without you butting in.
True. But I still feel bad because Poets and Quants is this magazine or this website that does all the stuff for business schools, and I got to be at one of the top 50 undergraduate business professors in the world. I'm like, yes, and my friend Tiffany is an inspiration to me, and like I had a whole thing in my interview with it, and they have never put it out. I'm like, dude, why aren't you putting it out? I'm upset.
Okay, a few things. So Kathy Fultz said, drove down to Toledo to see Rod Stewart. We were late, walked in the wrong door, ended up on stage. Rod sang Maggie May to us. That is
hell yeah, dude. Rod
Very
Stewart,
cool.
man, he's awesome.
Megan says, go to the trailer park in Savannah, cute low key place decorated with like a vintage Airstream and good tacos. And I threw in the good taco part. Christian met Roald Dahl's daughter on a plane. That's very cool. Oh, who was the rapper I met on the plane? On my way to see you, we landed in
Akon.
Amsterdam. Yeah, Amsterdam. It was Akon. That's right.
Lee, I love your Lawrence Fishburne story. Running after his dog. Yeah, dogs are dogs. But
His dog's an escape artist and runs frantically down the road after a short hair pointer yelling, Millie, come back. I had a short hair. Before Brig, we had Q, and Q, I got him when I was 20. Q is a lab German short-haired mix, and he could be an escape artist too. What are you doing? What? Mark's gonna pee his pants. Somebody tell me what's so funny. Brush with my... Okay, hang on. So, Mark Finley, my 4 best brush with greatness. George W. Bush, Nolan Ryan, Elton John, and Mark Walters. Well, one of these things just doesn't belong. You're right up there, big
But then
love.
Lee comes with the, you got Mark Walters, didn't you?
Hey, I get Mark Walters all the time.
Oh, God, that was funny. Oh, sorry.
I've got to go make myself another. I'm having espresso old fashioned.
She's not going to. Which, okay.
I'm not going to sleep for a week, but it's so good.
So,
It's on my website.
No, it's not yet.
It's not on there yet?
Espresso Old Fashioned comes out Christmas Day.
Okay, so because you're on here, I'm going to give you the lowdown. This is one of my favorite drinks. 2 ounces of bourbon, 2 ounces of cold espresso.
You know, we could take this and you could make it for them. What do you guys think? Should we have...
No, my kitchen's a flipping mess. I'll bring it here.
Oh, we're getting live. So this is one of the things I kind of want to do with Jocelyn's channel. I thought maybe we could do some of these live feeds and have her like make food and make drinks like while we're live and chatting, like a live TV show. So if you all think that's a good idea, please let me know, because she won't believe me if I say it's cool. So you got to tell her it's cool, otherwise she won't believe me. Okay. So So other things. Chris Bates, who has the coolest life ever. So celebs would hang out in my office waiting for their limo. Oh, Reagan, Bono, Whoopi Goldberg, Jen. Damn it. Yeah, the 90s. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense than the 90s. Like, dude, that's still the 80s. That's cool.
Okay, hi, I'm back. We're going to make a cocktail.
Hi, this is Jocelyn from Simply
Hey, Jocelyn, this is Jocelyn. Yeah,
Okay, so how would you like the camera set?
Okay, that's fine. All right, so mixing tin full of ice. I can't even tip it enough to show you that.
Hold on, I'll just move this farther back.
Let's scoot all my books in.
I'm not exiting this, am I?
I think you're okay. Okay, so I got ice in there. Can you hand me the bourbon, please?
Bourbon.
Any bourbon you like. This happens to be Woodford today. So 2 ounces of bourbon. And if y'all, this is a tippling jigger. These are like the coolest things ever. They're really hard to find though. But I'm absolutely in love with them. So 2 ounces of bourbon. Oh, Mark, grab me simple syrup out of the fridge, please.
What?
Simple syrup out of the fridge. It's on the right side. This is cold espresso. So I make espresso and I put it in a jar and keep it in my fridge. So 2 ounces of cold espresso, which is why I will not sleep tonight because I will have had 4 ounces of cold espresso.
So I'm going to sleep in the basement so I can go to sleep.
And so the recipe on there is for 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. I do.
Wow, that's some espresso. I'm awake right now.
I do a half ounce of espresso, or I'm sorry, half ounce of simple syrup, and then it is a dash of Peychaud's bitters. I have one of my good friends bought me a bunch of different bitters in these little things. This is equivalent to Peychaud's. So we're going to do that, and we're going to shake it up. Get it nice and frothy. And strain.
Hold on. What? Show them the frothiness. Look at the frothiness. Can you see the before I pour it on my computer?
Pour it on the computer. You'll see the frothiness when I just dump it in over ice. This is absolutely one of my favorite drinks. And then you...
No, straight up. We were in Savannah. Our friends that taught us this. She asked him to make it again. Charlie.
Sandra and Charlie. Charlie, the people I was talking about who work in film. Love them. Anyway, so, and then you rub the rim with a lemon twist, but I don't have a lemon twist. But
worst husband ever. I didn't buy any.
I'm Greek. You should always buy lemons.
Honestly, I actually thought that, and I'm
half
like
Greek, so I need half. Oh my good God! Go get a paper towel, honey, or not paper towel. Mark is a little peeved because I'm trying to go like no single-use stuff in our house other than toilet paper because I'm not raised in that. So I got these reusable paper towels, and
they work really well.
They do work really well, but like for
except the dog threw up yesterday.
So Mark's
and I'm
like
I don't want to see the dog vomit.
So anyway, these are really great paper towels, but they're not paper; they're felt, and I have a little basket, and you throw them in there, and whatever. They actually, I think they clean up better than regular paper towels, and they're washable.
Yeah.
So yay for the environment.
You will have a video on 5.
I actually do want to make some on like, hey, let's try to make ourselves just a little bit better about environmental stuff, you know?
No, because that's one of the things that like people will get comments on Wolters World about people like your carbon footprints and stuff like this. I'm like, if I'm helping people make the right decision in travel, then I have help, because now they're not taking 2 trips, one they don't like and one they do like. They're only doing the one they do like. At least it's something. So.
Well, we all do what we can.
That's right.
Where we can.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Well, gals, yours isn't updating because maybe people aren't typing in because no one likes Jocelyn.
What? Nobody likes me?
I like you. Lee Bridges like you. Be right back. Gotta peel carrots. Soup. I hear you.
Froth. Goo. Ooh. So hang on. Wait, what does this say? Nick says, my grandfather met Ray Kroc on a plane and was told that he should consider investing in the restaurant Kroc had recently acquired. Grandpa declined.
No!
Can you pull that thing up just a little bit again so I can see? I have to talk. Okay, hey, I got these moccasins that are like faux Sherpa lined things, and I don't know why they're faux because they're leather. I don't know what. Like we're gonna kill one part but not the other. Anyway, whatever. These are like my favorite slippers ever. If y'all go to Portugal, they make these.
Portugal's got this blankets. Really blankets are great from Portugal, and they're slippers. Possibly.
But mine have literally in 12 years wore a hole in the bottom of them. I love them for house shoes. They're similar to this.
If you want to get a quarter zip like this.
I'm talking about my shoes.
I know. They're Wolters.
But these things keep coming untied and they're driving me nuts. If anyone has a good way to keep
and they're both right feet,
leather. Oh yeah, no, they're both right feet. But you know what? It doesn't really matter with moccasins like this because they have no bottom and.
So our good friend Lori Sims has a question. What is simple syrup and bitters? I've never used them.
Simple syrup is just sugar water, essentially. And I think I have a video on that. I don't know if it's out yet. It's not out yet.
No, that and the
did that get lost? The honey syrup?
No, you never made the simple syrup. No,
I made the honey syrup.
No, neither of those.
Yes, I made the honey syrup.
You didn't make a honey. Believe me, I went through all the videos. I had to put
We'll make a video on it.
Honey.
So simple syrup is used in a lot of things, and anytime you need to melt sugar into something that already has some kind of water in it anyway, often it's just easier to make yourself simple syrup and use that. Bitters, there are 1,000 different kinds of bitters. They're an additive to drinks. They're like an herbal tincture, if you will. They're not alcoholic, but they add like this great different sort of flavor. And like I said, my girlfriend got me this set of like 6 or 8 different kinds, and they all do something different. Like they just add a different sort of flavor. So they're really fun to play with when you're making yourself drinks. So.
Yeah. Lee puts it really well. Bitters are a bitter liquid often added to cocktails for depth of flavor. Well said. And yeah, so it's Nick D. It's okay that your grandpa didn't do that because you're not a part owner. Because I would have to tell you, those spicy nuggets suck.
But y'all like the Travis Scott thing?
Yeah, the Travis Scott thing was great, and this is something McDonald's was trying to go for years. They were like offering money, make a song about a Big Mac, we'll pay you.
Where was this drink when I was trying to file my taxes?
Yeah,
I don't know. Where was this when I was in college and trying to study all night long?
Okay, so this is a funny thing. So I've never been a big caffeine person. I drink my Cokes and Mountain Dews and stuff like that, but I never understood the power of caffeine until my senior year of college. And I went to school here where I teach, and my buddy Caesar and I were like studying for we're working on a project together, and we went to this place called One World Cafe, and I got a Frappuccino, I think is what it's called, and I'm like, oh, it's a raspberry Frappuccino. I don't like coffee, but it tasted like a milkshake kind of thing, and I had like 6. And I'm like, my heart's gonna explode. What is going on here? I don't know what's happening to me. God, this is like 1999, so please, don't give me Starbucks should have taught you this. No, I just remember oh my god. So that was kind of funny.
Dan said my daughter and I got to spend several hours with Travis Tritt at our local mall, and then we were in Gatlinburg. My daughter recognized and went up to and talked to Brendan Fraser. That's cool. One of the if any of y'all are into blues, I used to run a blues and barbecue festival in Savannah, and I got to meet several people, but one of the highlights was Johnny Winter, and he passed away 3 years ago. Caleb was 2 or 3? Caleb was absolutely obsessed.
Well, he could sing that whole album.
He could sing
the whole album.
The album that came out.
I'm a blues man, gonna get my way. The wolf.
I'm a lone wolf.
Ow, and I howl from town to town.
Anyway, he was really cool. He was also really high. Whatever. You walk by his trailer.
Oh, God.
It's just a big, giant pop.
I remember you called me. You're like, are you getting high from this phone call?
He was such a nice person. Just great. And somebody asked about the.
Hey Ryan, thanks for joining up late, buddy.
Hey Ryan, I'm having an espresso old fashioned. Mark is having
whiskey,
bourbon or whiskey and 7-Up. So
the kids depleted our ginger ale.
Yeah.
Stock.
So Christian, I haven't been drinking, but should I start? I don't know, maybe. Hey, so
you're the artist, man. I'm scared because you got 10 years till that 34, or is it 27? 27 club, 32 club, 34. I don't know.
Shut up, Mark.
I worry about Christian's safety.
Yeah, Christian is safe, and he's got a good head on his shoulders.
I know he does.
So
but he's gonna be world famous.
My reusable paper towels I bought on Etsy. I got 60 of them, and here's what I did. I got this size, which is approximately the size of those tearaway paper towels, and I got 60 of these in gray colors, and then I got some smaller square ones in white. So that I could keep them separate. And those smaller square ones, I had saved an old Clorox wipes container. I actually have saved a couple. And so I kind of roll all those up, and then I put cleaning stuff of my own making in the bottom so I can just pull those out. The difference is when you buy Clorox wipes, there's just a little bit of liquid in there, and it's kind of all soaked up. But because these are cloth, they soak up a lot more. So I found that I have to make a ton more And why I feel like I'm in the middle aisle seat. Could you just get out of my way? I'm just teasing you. I do. I feel like I'm in the middle seat on the airplane because you're like leaning into me a lot.
I'm sorry that I love you and want to be near you all the time. Moving on. So, Thomas is upset about them. McDonald's get rid of the grilled chicken. Actually, their grilled chicken sandwich wasn't too bad. You're right, man. That's true. So, but I'm going to give Melinda the win for now. Melinda pulls out the Jolt for those.
Oh
for
yeah,
those
I remember the Jolt.
For those 70s, 80s, 90s kids that had the first taste when we went past Mountain Dew to the next level. Jolt, yes.
The precursor to Red Bull as
Oh, you went to the greatest school in the SEC. You mean
no,
Georgia?
She didn't.
Because I thought you were from Tennessee. Well, granted,
she's a ball.
In the 1990s with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Though they didn't win a national championship.
I gave you the guy that went there. He was the steward for Air Force.
I think I did too.
That was pretty
whatever.
cool. You did?
I don't know. I'm open-minded, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the spicy nuggets. The spicy nuggets aren't great. I agree, Nick. But I kind of like the new hot sauce.
27.
So I didn't try. Exactly. Is that Christian?
Yes.
That's right.
27 was one of my best years.
Oh, Christian, you look so young. You could be 12. No, I'm kidding. 21. I wouldn't ask for ID.
You're not the oldies in the house. We're not the only oldies.
Let's see.
I just use inexpensive washcloths from Target for around the kitchen. So, Lori, these are cheaper than washcloths from Target, but yes. And the great thing about these is that they stick together on a roll. But they're significantly cheaper. But anyway,
Tab. Lori sits for the win. Tab. She's pulling out it's like I'm going for the Back to the Future reference there. Yes. What, you want to pay for something? What's going on? Yeah. Who knew the Tab would not make it? Go! You can find it sometimes.
Vagabondy, I only read the first part. It says, I love the middle seat on the airplane. Said no one ever. That's the truth.
Well, if it's in our family, you're okay with it.
Oh, yeah, in our family, it's great because then I can lie down on somebody. Caleb, we were talking about this in the car. He was like,
you always lay on me!
He's like, I really tick him off because...
He's 14.
Well, no, because all of his life I've put my head on his lap and fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Well, he's up and he's watching movies and he's not going to sleep, so there's obviously a place for me to sleep.
So for those of you who know how the Wolters family travels, I take an aisle,
yes,
and then Liam and Caleb are next to me in some fashion, because usually there are three in the middle.
Or four.
Yeah.
If there's four, it's all of us across parents' bookend.
Yeah, but... Yeah, bookend, right? Because Jocelyn takes up 3 seats. But when it's three, we'll usually put Jocelyn in the aisle seat on the other side, so she can be by herself. And it's like Caleb and Liam will somehow turn into some kind of modern art sculpture. How they kind of sleep together, and I don't sleep, so I'm fine. But then occasionally, remember, you put one of the kids on the side, and then Jocelyn will be in there, and Jocelyn will be like.
Yeah, but you know what? When we get to where we're going, I'm not the bitchy one.
Well, you're never the bitchy one. So I don't see what the problem is.
Oh, goodness. This is an adult show, isn't it?
That's right. That's why I'm glad. That's why. So I'm putting together the drive up Scotts Bluff in Nebraska. And I'm like, oh, this is not Walter's Rule material. Because Josh was like, freaking frick. I'm like, yeah, it ain't going to work on my channel, buddy. I got teachers showing this to their kids. I got to make sure. I feel bad when I put we have the red beer and stuff like that. Can I put that in there?
Gals, yes. Tab tasted like Diet Right, which I don't even know if it's available anywhere except in the South.
Nice, Christian.
Now that you've said that, I'm not sure. It might just be in the South, but I know I've seen it in recent years. But I'm in Savannah a lot. Diet Right. It might be.
Oh, Diet Right.
Weirdly.
Oh God, you remember the little bottle, the fat bottles back in the 80s?
No. You made those up.
I did not.
Stuff it.
And they had styrofoam things around them.
Styrofoam.
Help me out, Lee Bridges.
Oh no!
You know what I'm talking about.
the label was like that
Yes.
styrofoamy, and I love to peel it.
Yes, Jocelyn.
Okay. Lori says,
Where were you, Lee?
my mother-in-law just told me a hint she uses if she's in the middle seat. Pull out the barf bag and tell your seatmates that you get sick throughout the flight and both vacate ASAP. That's funny.
Boom.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Ooh, Lee is hooking us up with the turkey chili. Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, we made
I'm gonna make some white chicken.
We made a turkey breakfast taco salad today. Trying to be healthy.
I only ate half of it because
we're being healthy aside from the alcohol today.
Well, I found out that I don't eat enough. I was probably eating 1,000 calories a day unintentionally. I probably drank more than that, but no, I'm just joking. Only on Whiskey Wednesdays. But
and random hangout with your husband Thursdays.
Yeah. Well,
who loves you so much.
So I'm supposed to eat a lot more than 1,000 calories a day, and now it's killing me. Did you just wet willy me?
No,
that's
hit
a good
my
idea.
finger and get no.
You're my favorite.
Psycho.
Yes, Melinda says, me too. Peel the styrofoam because it is fun.
Christian, not a fan of the turkey. So so today I was on a walk with Liam, and he's like, Dad, what's your least favorite holiday? I'm like, I don't really have one. Like, you mean like the big holidays or the other ones? I'm like, I was like, well, what's yours, dude? Because, with kids, they don't really care what you say. They just want to talk. So, well, what's yours? He's like, Thanksgiving? I'm like,
that's
what?
His least?
That's his least favorite holiday? I'm like,
all we do is eat, and then we have whiskey tasting. Oh, because they don't have whiskey tasting. That's why I don't like it.
And so I asked him, well, why is it Thanksgiving? He's like, because the turkey, it's so dry.
My turkey's not dry. Are you?
I said it! He said it! He's downstairs! Don't hit me! Leave me alone!
Get out of the house.
I'm
sleep with the dog.
I'm just telling you what Liam told me.
Well, the turkey is not dry at my house. When was the last time we had Thanksgiving? In America, that I actually made Thanksgiving. Was that when Nando and Elena? 2014. Oh, last year we accidentally were here because the trip got canceled. Because even before COVID, we were having trips canceled, and we had dinner with the Conchecks.
No, we went to the club.
They have a club
and that was dry. That was dry.
Maybe that's why. Because I don't make. All right, couple of things. One, I don't make dry turkey because you turn it upside down. Do not bake it breast side up. Yes, it makes a pretty bird, but if you cook it breast side down.
Obviously, Jocelyn is not about pretty. Look at me. She's all about content.
Shut up. So if you bake it breast side down, all that dark meat runs through.
All that fat goes in and make it tasty.
Gets the white meat nice.
Because we all know
juicy.
Fat is tasty. Go on.
Okay, and then Mark Finley is saying that we have to stop talking about chili because he isn't handling the monstrosity that I talked about today in my video. And yes, in my What to Eat Nebraska
the
video. The
chili and cinnamon roll?
Yes, they eat chili and cinnamon rolls together.
Wait, doesn't Texas have their Frito Texas chili thing?
Oh yeah, no, with the Frito pie.
Is it no beans? I'm trying to go upside down.
Why are you trying to go upside down?
Because I'm trying to make it like a weird thing. So, hey Mark, so I already have my Eats of Texas video. Jocelyn needs to have her Texas. Squirt and tequila every day, all day.
That's
Bam.
The thing in Mexico that Americans don't typically get on resorts.
Oh God!
But
seriously,
get you some Herradura, which is actually Herradura should be sipped on its own. It's such a nice.
It's so
tequila.
good. It's so smooth.
I really like it.
But here's one of the things: you go to Mexico. Hint: get the grapefruit Fanta. It is next level amazing.
Yes. Grapefruit, not grape.
Grapefruit. You're like, I want to put this in my tequila, but I just drank a whole can. You can't help yourself.
Troy said, something I learned in Southwest Asia. Don't play quarters with Diet Right. Explain to me what happens with that.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. We don't need to know.
I don't know. I might want I know.
Rain, just lead the way. Boom.
All right. So
Lee Bridges says ground dark with white meat turkey equals great chili protein. Yes, I cook Thanksgiving dinner. And key the spatchcock, the turkey. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Okay. Here's my thing is I actually like
spatchcock. I don't even know that term, and
so
I've been in restaurants all my life.
When we use ground turkey for stuff, because when I like the healthy diet stuff, I'm actually okay with ground turkey. It's just the other stuff kind of gets dry.
No, I'm telling you that my turkey is good, but I never take out this beautiful golden bird to the table and carve it like other people do. I cook it, like I said, breast side down. It never comes out pretty, but I carve up all that meat and I put it out, and I promise you, it tastes good.
And Co Etienne knows upside down turkey is how I
stuff it with herbs and fruit for flavor. So boom. I also do that. I'm going to do this, but I'll just tell you what I do. So under the skin,
there's only a video you would make about this.
I make an herb butter, and I get under the skin, and I put all that herb butter under the skin. I mean, like I molest the bird.
Oh, she does. It's like disturbing.
It is. It's kind of gross. And then flip it, and then inside I stuff it with herbs, and so I don't cook my bird with stuffing in it, partially because I've worked in so many restaurants, and they're like health department wise, it's kind of just not a good idea from those things. And I make dressing. So the difference between dressing and stuffing is that dressing is made separate in its own thing, and stuffing is cooked in the bird. Anyway, so that's what I do. All right. So, all right. Yes, brining turkey. Sometimes I brine the turkey. Sometimes I don't. Brining just means to put it in salt water. And actually, I know people who, and I haven't tried this, but as they're thawing their turkey for 3 days before, they put it in salt water as it defrosts and change out the salt water all the time, which is totally doable, I think. But I'm not sure how that works, health-wise, because there's some of those little funky things in there. Spatchcock it, Lee says. Break the breast so it splays out. Oh, so butterflying? Is that similar? Rub with chicken fat, salt it, roast it low and slow. Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely low and slow cooking. And so instead of chicken fat, actually, what I was thinking this year that made me think about it, I think it might be kind of fun to try some duck fat in there and just see what happens. So, and yes, I know a lot of people who cook it in a bag. My dad, he fries turkeys often. My dad's a hell of a cook, and he likes to fry his. But then what did he do this last year? He did some kind of crazy weird thing. But anyway.
I don't know. He hasn't really cooked for me. I'm still waiting for those waffles.
Talia says, in Puerto Rico, we make pavo chan, turkey wrapped with bacon. Lately, we've been making rotisserie chicken, my son's request on Thanksgiving. I think that's a great idea. And y'all, so I have been looking into a new range for various reasons. We'll talk about it later.
Puerto Rico's on the list of stuff I had.
Had for what?
The road trips you were mad at me about.
You have a road trip to Puerto Rico?
Well,
we gotta get on a boat to get there, sugar.
We fly. It's a place we don't have restrictions with COVID.
Okay.
Well,
so anyway, this range that I was looking at has a rotisserie inside of it.
Wait, I thought you were looking at that. Wait, is that the one before?
The Italian one.
Oh.
So, because there are two French ranges that I've looked at, but I can't justify $10,000.
Tell them why their ratings are like garbage.
What? The Italian one I wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they don't have good customer service, and it's hard to get somebody to fix them. However, the great thing about them is they don't have a lot of electronics. So you get a good plumber, because plumbers, by the way, take care of gas ranges, if you don't know that.
I did not know that.
And of course you didn't.
I
love you. It's so funny when I do that to you. So anyway, this is part of why I like the Italian. Even if they have the worst service ever, I can find like a regular person to fix it. It doesn't have to be somebody with some special knowledge for like the motherboard, right? Also, I have this idea that like in the thing where I'm cooking at 500 degrees or whatever, it's really hot. It seems silly to me to have a whole lot of electronics in it. And the only like electrical part on this stove is the digital thing that tells the temperature and the time, and the electrical thing that spins the rotisserie. That is the only bit. Anyway, so the other thing people don't like about it is that it takes a little time to light. But you know what? Our gas stove in Lisbon took some time. You like have to hold it to click for like 5 seconds. So I used to live in Lithuania,
and my first oven
I know this story.
Had CCCP, USSR, on the freaking oven. And you turn it on, the whole thing, you'd be like, okay, got it on. You throw the match in, and it'd be like,
you don't have to throw a match on this though.
Oh, well that one you did, because freaking USSR freaking sucked. Sorry.
Hey, I'd like to ask you guys.
Not a fan of the USSR. And their electrodomesticos. What do they call them? The appliances.
Mm-hmm. I would like to ask y'all, what would you think of a kitchen design video? Like, kind of like how to lay out a kitchen so that it is best usable. Like what is the most efficient kind of layout and things like that. Keep this in mind. I studied interior design and then switched not quite about halfway through into preservation, just because I figured out that I really love old things, but it's still a lot of similarities. Anyway, so think about that. Tell me what if that is even something that you think is viable, and if you would like me to do that. So, Melinda from Galavan Gal says, "Get the Japanese toilet first, sister. I am gonna." Actually, there was that Wayfair's day, like the Way Days from Wayfair, and all this stuff was on sale, and I was like, that toilet was like $100 off, and I was like, I should really buy the toilet, but instead I bought new chairs for the kitchen table.
That no one likes except for her.
I don't care what you like.
Exactly. So everyone's happy.
Because I really love mid-century modern stuff.
Dude, it's cool. They're cool.
Anyway.
So Jerry Pouncer says, any safety tips for bringing a DSLR camera traveling? Okay, so one of the things, obviously, do not put any of that stuff in your check bags. It could get beaten up or whatever. Take it with you when you carry on. One thing I would say, though, if you look on my video with Spencer Pablo Photography, my old travel bag was just a Ziploc bag for my camera stuff. So maybe get a decent...
Don't listen to him. I'm joking.
Get a nice, tight-fitting camera bag to hold your stuff, and you'll be okay. Honestly, I haven't had any problems with our DSLRs when we've been traveling. And that's what I felt like. When you see me like talking to the camera, hey, this is Mark from Wolters World. That's DSLR sitting on top of a tripod. I mean, I carry that thing everywhere. A lot these days, they're pretty sturdy, so you're going to be okay. The only thing I would say is make sure you have the lens caps, and if you have the extra lenses, the back cap as well, because that's just going to mess up your lenses if you do that, because stuff gets in there. I've had a number of DSLR cameras and other cameras that got messed up by sand, so you want to make sure you're like, anytime you're in a sand situation, when you're finishing your stuff, so your session, blow everything out. It might sound silly, like take it out, blow all the stuff out, because you don't know how much sand gets everywhere. But otherwise, you should be okay. It doesn't really take too much to really keep it okay.
Troy says, we end up using Diet Right for target practice. We also use, because he was saying in Southwest Asia, we also used a low explosive charge to detonate a group or pack when folks would walk up on it. Troy, you're so... Don't tell anybody that.
You're next level, dude. Next level.
Rangers lead the way.
Hell yeah!
Okay. So several of you say cool on kitchen design. Eric says maybe bathroom layout video. I could work on that.
I can show it in action.
No, you can't. So, and maybe Talia says yes, and maybe your tips and tricks on how to keep the counters decluttered, because I swear my counters and island have tons of stuff on them all the time. Well, here's my tip: don't marry Mark and have 2 boys. Because when I lived alone, I had very clean counters, and then all of a sudden, I didn't anymore. I have to clean them off before I make a video, because I don't know if you look back on.
That's why I shot a lot of videos.
Some of my blogs during the early parts of COVID on woltersworld.com, I have pictures like next to the sink, and it was like a garden of glasses. I'm like, why can't you just it literally on top of where the dishwasher is. I'm like, why can't you just pull the dishwasher out, turn it upside down, and put it in the flipping dishwasher? I have all the 4-letter words going through my head right now. It just freaking ticks me off. Okay. So Lori says, depends on the size of the layout and if plumbing and if gas or electric needs to be moved and installed. So yes, and that's a big thing. But how do we work around what's existing? So that's something I had to do a lot in preservation. Is, some things we couldn't afford to move, and so how do you change the layout and still work around existing supplies and things like that? Kitchen totally depends on your space, except there are certain things that are very, very specific. Like, for instance, your space between like an island and a counter, or between 2 counters, should be ideally 48 inches. You can't always do that because you may not have that space. The other ideal in a kitchen is to have your 3 main things at a triangle. So the sink, the fridge, and the range. Ovens might be something different, but the range top at the very least, have them in a triangle. And I've lived in many apartments in old buildings where I had a galley kitchen, but somehow they managed to set one of those things on an end, and it makes it a lot easier for moving around and things. So there are those things, but there's a lot more that goes into kitchen design, but just like general layout stuff, but also just organizing, for me particularly, organizing my drawers and like what is where, so that it's easy to cook, what is most efficient as you're moving around a kitchen. So that's kind of what I was thinking about. Okay, I went way too into that. Nick says kitchen chairs instead of a toilet seems messy. Bless your heart. What are we snacking on? So we've got some goat cheese and some sausages, actual sausage. We have choke cherry jam from Wyoming, and water crackers.
Hey, Lori, we love you, and we're here for you. That's all I want to say. So.
What's wrong? I missed it.
I'll tell you there.
Okay.
Go Army. Hey, go. Yeah. Our brother-in-law is Army.
Yes, he was on earlier.
So Christian, we will have a drink buddy, and we will talk virtual teaching. We're looking at our Texas trip. We'll be going through Memphis on the way back, because it's from our last thing is Natchez, and then it's 11 hours from Natchez to Champaign. And so we will be going through your way. So we'll probably end up spending the night somewhere up there and have some drinks. Hopefully, I'll get my buddy Mike that lives there to meet up with us, so you can have another friend.
Oh no, Mike's wild.
Yeah.
Mike was the best man in our wedding.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest him as a role model to anyone.
But he's got a good heart, but he's a little crazy. But
yes,
I love him.
He has a good heart. That's what's important.
And where'd that go? Oh, Melinda says drinks and cooking on live stream. So you know what? I should do that. I did just make a drink though. But I can do that.
I think so. Hey, you all are awesome, and you can help us. So I was thinking that maybe because we have this special camera now, though we can't figure out how to get the audio to work right. But I thought
we've had some issues technically.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of we do a live feed where Jocelyn like cooks and makes drinks and stuff like that, and maybe I could make something. No, I suck.
What, mac and cheese and boiled hot dogs?
You know, I could cook. I could cook really well. Like no. I travel around the world and people are really amazed at my cooking skills. And then I marry you and I become a freaking idiot in the kitchen because Jocelyn's so great. She's amazing.
I cook.
Yay!
I'm sorry. I won't. I'll stop cooking.
I know. I got 100 pounds of your cooking in my.
You made dinner tonight was excellent.
Yeah, and last time. And the night before.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe. I've been reading. I'm a bad wife.
Anyway, as Lori says, an island is just a place for the clutter. Thank you, Lori, because that is what it's been for a little while. And then we had to have a guy come in.
That's my workstation. Like I love that workstation, and that I can host people around it. Because
that's true.
We're really blessed with an island that is big enough where I can have 4 people sit across it. I can have them serve. I can put stuff out for them to serve, and then I can still cook on the side. What?
It's like a house hunters. We like to entertain. We actually do entertain, and we entertain them all at the island.
So yeah, that's the truth. Like the one place that I will go cheap on all sorts of things in a house, but the one. I'm very frugal about think about what I did when I bought all the light fixtures. I mean,
no, you did awesome. Our house is fantastic.
I'm careful about what I spend and where I spend it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know you do. But the kitchen is the one place where I will go all out because we live in that room. Like our lives revolve around the kitchen. Don't you think? Like, I don't care about the bedrooms. I could have a bedroom that's 4 feet by 4 feet. I wouldn't care. But I need kitchen. And part of that, I think, is even more important to me after having lived in Europe. And I had a postage stamp for a kitchen where it was great. It was very efficient because I could turn and touch everything. I mean, I could touch all 4 walls by standing in the middle. And I'm not that tall.
Seriously, that second place? Yeah.
That second apartment
right.
Well... There was one longish wall, so I might have to take a step and a half.
No,
to get from one side to the other. But that gave me a great appreciation for American kitchens because it's the heart of our home, and it's the heart of so many homes. Think about Nando and Elena's. They don't have a big kitchen, but we all will be in that kitchen, all 7 of us. But the way Elena has it set up. It's very comfortable. And the thing is, right?
That's what's amazing. You see people's homes; they can have 10,000 square feet, but it's not livable space. That's one thing you did a really good. The house we live in now, Jocelyn completely designed it, and it is every square inch is usable space except for that corner over there.
That's where your stupid Christmas tree goes.
So it is usable all year round. Part of my plan. No, but she did a really great job because honestly, everything there's no wasted space. We look at should we do a new house? Should we do something else? And you're like, I don't want to have a hallway that does nothing, And
but that's what hallways are for. They're the
hallways are to get us to the next destination.
Just like runways. That's what hallways are.
Yeah. Take me out to my next place, whether it's the shitter or the ginger place. It's your channel, not mine. I can say what the hell I want.
Oh, goodness me.
So Kathy is eating her way through wheat thins. Now, I like wheat thins. They're good.
Ritz, then wheat thins, then water crackers.
No. Triscuit. Original old school Triscuits.
I do like old school Triscuits
Boom!
too. But I still like the
Granted, whatever the hell these are.
Water crackers.
These are good. But don't give me that rosemary Triscuit crap. Give me the old school.
Hang on, stop. Lori said, when my dad and I blew out the old kitchen, we moved the fridge stove position and blew out the wall to install an island. So,
nice.
And what do you do with that island? Are you like me where you live at the island? I mean, I stand at that island all the time. Actually, I was looking at if I do this thing, I was thinking about cork floors. Y'all, I have always wanted a black and white tiled kitchen. And I was looking, you can get colored cork now. And cork is renewable. It's got 1,000 good things about it. And it's really soft to stand on. And also, drop things. They are less likely to break on cork.
And cork comes from Portugal, home of our son.
Youngest. So I'm really considering that, but I also want to have a fireplace in my kitchen. And I don't know how you make that work. How do I do the fireplace with the black and white cork floor?
I am not the interior designer. That is you.
I'm not an interior designer. I wanted preservation. I just had enough to make me dangerous.
There you go. Lori, I'm glad we could. We love you, and we just want you to know we're here for you.
Mark will explain it to me, but yes, you are a dear, and thank you for always being part of this.
Yeah. So my mom, Kathy Wolters, just wants to say pancakes! ! So my mom is a wonderful woman, possibly the most amazing mother-in-law.
She is fantastic.
That anyone could ever ask for.
She makes the best blueberry
French chocolate pie.
Oh, blueberry French toast.
French chocolate pie.
I'm afraid to speak because he's going to yell it again. But Kathy has a reputation.
French chocolate pie
with pancakes.
My mom is amazing. She's wonderful. She's so attractive, intelligent. Just everything you'd ever imagine.
Colorful.
Truly.
Great shopper.
She's a Renaissance woman, if y'all will. But goddamn
downfall.
She could just know my entire life. I never once had a good pancake
until
from my mom.
So hang on.
No, that wasn't you.
No,
it wasn't you.
Stop! I made you pancakes when we first got married, and you were yelling at me. He was like, "Don't burn the pancakes! Don't walk away from the stove! Don't burn the pancakes!"
I did not do that.
You did so.
I must have been traumatized. I must have been traumatized
because you're like so adamant right now about the pancakes. So I'm like, what the hell? Like he's like traumatized over pancakes.
Taco shells and pancakes are my mom's kryptonite.
Well,
lady can make anything ever, but taco shells burned. Pancakes burned.
The funniest part was that Kathy kindly came over.
Children, amazing.
Absolutely.
Taco shells,
successfully raised
not so
doctors.
Good. I think my brother ended up better. He said he's a surgeon. Sorry, I'm just a professor.
You're a brilliant man, and I love you. And I don't love him like I love you.
I hope not, because that gets all like Merovingian and crazy.
Anyway, so here's what's funny about the pancake story is that our kids like kind of know how Grandma is about pancakes, and they are very kind, and they know it's just a thing, right? And we had fostered a child for a little while a year ago, and we came home, awesome. And we're like, so how was everything? And he said, Grandma Kathy burned the pancakes every time. The whole house just busted up laughing, and Kathy's such a good sport about it. Oh my gosh, it was
Mom,
just so
bacon
funny.
grease. Don't use bacon grease to make
no grease. You don't need it. Just don't do it. Anyway.
Oh, she's in bed. Thank God.
Good night. God, I hope she doesn't watch the replay of this. Like,
she won't. She has a life.
Because when he said that, I can't tell you. Like, I mean, we were all on the floor. He was like, she made pancakes every day, and she burned them every time. Like, he was just flabbergasted by that.
Yeah, and the boys are like, oh, crap.
Oh, we all about peed our pants, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I love my mom. She makes the most
Nick, that's funny.
Greatest waffles. So, Nick D, I would make a kitchen design video, but refuse to mention the sink. To say what I could title it, everything but the kitchen sink.
Hey, there's a
boom.
1 second. There's a really cool website. If any of y'all are into like buying vintage or use specific things, there's this cool thing. It's called Everything But the House. And so it is literally kitchen sinks, everything you can imagine in a home. And it's a really cool website. It's auction stuff, but some of them are curated. So it's like right now there was one, it was like all mid-century modern stuff, and it was very cool. I haven't bought anything yet. Anyway, Lori says, I went from a 4,500 square foot home to an 1,100, and taking out the support wall to make an island made all the difference and opened it up to the living room. You know what I love about layouts is when the way our family works, I like to have sight lines from the kitchen to the living room or the family room, but I don't want to actually have them as one room. I need like that separation because otherwise it's just one gigantic mess instead of two smaller ones.
The chalice brings up more alter ego.
No, that's the bourbon, sugar, or the whiskey.
No, it's a chalice. I drank it many bourbons.
Kagi says, my house is 900 square feet, no island. You know what? So I had an apartment. I've had several apartments that were that size or smaller. And you know what I did? I still like to have that like standalone workspace that's separate from everything else. And I got from Ikea like this little tiny like 1 foot, maybe 18-inch square thing where I could stand and chop all my stuff. It was just a place that I could have my knives and my cutting board, and that's all I really need. I don't need a big massive island except that that's our entertaining space in our home. But that is a huge thing for me. Even when I've had really, and let me tell you, I've had smaller apartments than 900 square feet by a minute. So yeah, that's anyway. All right, get this man a pancake stat. Oh yes, he needs the pancakes. Yes. Lori says, it's been life-changing experience to realize every day it is not devoted to cleaning stairs top to bottom of the house. Yeah, everyday freedom. I get that. I do. I get that. And there are a lot of days. I missed that first apartment in Lisbon. How big was that? Maybe 1,000 square feet. But we had a little outdoor garden space, and behind that was like a bedroom and a toilet, like a 3/4 bath, and like a little office sort of space that we had set up. And that's kind of my ideal living space. Like that would have been perfect for the four of us. I wouldn't have a library though, and that's difficult because I have a lot of I have a lot of books. I have kind of a book fetish or something. I have like a lot of them. So bacon grease in greens or cabbage. Absolutely bacon grease in lots of things, just not your pancakes. Actually, I love to fry eggs in bacon grease, which just makes them terribly bad for you, but I don't give a shit.
Well, that's why I make the bacon first and then make the egg, because I'm the best husband.
Nick said half my cocktail tonight is bacon grease.
Nick, you might make me break my teeth on my glass.
Oh, Lori never used bacon grease. I was raised in
California.
Oh, I thought that said GA. CA would make more sense for not using bacon grease, because let me tell you, bacon grease is like butter in Georgia.
You guys, so you're telling me you don't save the bacon grease? Does turkey bacon have grease?
Yeah, but very little. I didn't have real bacon until I was 20.
Oh, God! Don't get her started! Oh.
Shh, my mom might still.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks.
But the day I did, I was like, the angels came down, descended upon me.
Why do you talk about your cereal
the sugar
situation?
Cereals. So let's talk about.
Hey, I'm gonna just sit back here and drink for an hour.
The chalice. So I was allowed grape nuts and plain Cheerios and my sugar cereal. Oh, and I also got Rice Krispies with sweet and low packet. And my sugar cereal was Honey Nut Cheerios. That's what I lived on.
Okay, I'll give them that. That's actually good cereal.
Okay. But by the time my second sister rolls around, that girl had marshmallows and damn near everything.
Was she 8 years younger than you?
I
so
was
she's 12
so
now, right? Is she 12 or 13 now?
Stop. That's right. She is. She's 14. Anywho.
Oh my God, you can drink now?
I can. I'm 21
oh
again.
Oh my God.
So I was so angry about this. Like,
dude, she's still pissed.
You know why? Because she's the firstborn.
Jocelyn isn't 22
we're just like
anymore.
this. No, I am. That's why I'm mad, because I'm not 22. Actually, 27 was the best year. Phenomenal. Mm-hmm.
We only started dating you when you were 30.
I don't know what kind of math you're doing in your head right now, but your eyes got too big for it. Okay. All right.
So you're telling me life was better before you had me and the boys?
Just that year. It was so fun. I was just living life. I went out dancing and just my
Hey, you had fun.
girlfriend.
I'm happy for you. My life was nothing before I met you.
That's right.
Nothing at all.
In those 12 years living around the world, so yes.
I think Melinda.
Oh, James,
Melinda and Trey said it best. Gallivanting around the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, James says that you have to pop popcorn in bacon grease. I think that sounds brilliant. The other thing you do is to make chili oil. So take some oil, just vegetable oil is fine, and put chilies, peppers, like whatever, and set it aside in a cool, dark place for, as long as you want, preferably like at least a month or so, and then strain out all the stuff, and you got this nice, like reddish orange oil. Pop your popcorn in that and get spicy.
Mm-hmm. It is really good. I'll give her that.
Yes, Mark. I have a container, Mark Finley. I have a container of Snow White bacon grease in my fridge. So do I.
Damn straight, as one should in the real world.
Yeah, I don't know who's talking about pressure cooking asparagus. I would imagine that would be like really wilted, really like.
That
really
was discussion
really
before.
Fast.
That was that Mark Wolters person.
Okay. Mark, I think it's time to put you to bed.
Brutal. I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Oh,
I'm waiting for some of the hard hitting questions. There was an I was
okay, I'm missing something that Megan Morris said because everybody's like, why Megan Morris? And I don't know what it was. Barnes & Noble, what about Barnes & Noble?
I know, I can't find it.
I think I've had too much caffeine.
Yeah, okay, so I'll help you. Stephen Evans, you should make it Simply Jocelyn jacket. What do you think? Yes, I agree. Who in the hell uses bacon grease? Everybody.
Lori Sugar.
Carrot soup is simmering. Amen. Yes. But yeah, she
marinate turkey and Coca-Cola. So
wrong.
Actually, Coke and pineapple juice are two things that are great to marinate things in because they eat at the different fibrous bits of
but
meat
she
and
also pressure cooked asparagus, so that goes against her.
Right,
her
it does.
Cooking.
But
also,
open plan kitchens seemed like a fabulous idea until we got
greens.
dogs.
Oh heck yeah! Bacon grease and greens or cabbage is always good. Heck yeah, turkey. Yeah.
Our family dining kitchen are all one great room. We have a living room on the other side of the kitchen. Yeah, so that's what I can't do, Talia, is that like my family just the mess just explodes from one side to the other. So we can't live in that. I need like a little bit of a division. Like this room is offset from the kitchen just a little bit. And my dining room is library. I call it the library dining room because I do have a table in there and we do eat.
So if we ever do move, you'll get them a tour?
No, I don't like to like I like these people and I know them, but there are people out there I don't know. We'll do
that for the members. There we go.
We might do like something like that. That would be cool. But I do want to talk about layouts and easy things just to like move stuff from one drawer to the other just to make things more efficient. I have a couple of unboxing videos I need to do too for pots that I bought.
So Lee says, my husband literally lived on canned soup and ramen noodles until he met me. Was he a college student? Because that sounds like college students.
Was he 14?
No. Well, yeah, okay.
Caleb, that's all.
But I like this. I knew he loved me when we were dating, and when I asked him over for dinner, he took one bite, looked at me and nods, and asked, "Did you make this?" He thought I was serving Hormel and came over anyway. Oh my God.
That's sweet.
He fell in love. I can see the law. It's like bacon fat that's hardened, melting, and liquefying into love.
That doesn't make any sense.
What are you talking about? Like this bacon fat And then she does such a good job. The bacon fat melts into like liquid love and flows to her. Okay. I can see that. Lee, I can see it. Heartless, full of heart, full of bacon grease.
You're confusing.
Moving on.
Okay.
Eggs, bacon with the eggs. That's right, Priscilla.
Yes, Thomas. Barnes & Noble did cut their travel section.
I try to think about it. Honestly, right now, honestly, the travel section in our library is bigger than Barnes & Noble's travel section.
And our library at home, not like our public library.
And I can't blame them because.
But you know what, Thomas? All you have to do is order something and ask for it. What in God's name are you doing?
That was for Megan Morris.
Okay. Oh, Cornholio. Yeah. Yeah.
Deeper from my bunghole.
10 Beer Gardens.
Mark is hysterical.
Try oyster sauce.
Oyster sauce.
My older son turned me on to it, and I will now eat Brussels sprouts sauteed. Makes all the difference in flavor. What makes all the difference in flavor for Brussels sprouts, whether it's oyster sauce or bacon grease or butter or olive oil, the big thing is to keep water away from your Brussels sprouts. Water, even if you just cook them, you saute them, and you put a lid on it, that steam makes them really bitter and nasty. So keep them open, roast them, whatever. Do things to keep the water, the condensation and stuff from gathering on the Brussels sprouts. That's the biggest thing.
So Talia says, the good thing is the living room has the division wall.
That's important.
And so when we have parties, the kids are either outside in the playroom or in the living room.
Yeah.
So we throw the kids in our bed. So probably not this year, but we like to do a Christmas party every year. And so we bring in people from everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter who comes.
We have a very diverse group of people.
Exactly. And the kids, you are under 18, you go downstairs. Oh, I don't care.
In the basement.
Bye. And so it's crazy because like we have we have like the library, we've got this room here, we've got the kitchen. And so it's a nice group. And I think the greatest comment we got was...
Well, several people told us this is the most eclectic group of people like we've ever been around. But everyone was really, really nice. And it's not really a reflection on us. But it is flattering that our friends became friends. Like that was like when we got married. So a lot of people when they get married, it's like his side and her side on two separate things. Ours, I literally sat down and we had a very small wedding by Greek standards. It wasn't a wedding.
We only had 110 people, which her dad gave us 110 Excel spreadsheet, 110 lines in Excel.
Couples, kids,
no. It was
one line.
It was family name and then the grandparents.
50 people.
The parents.
Wasn't that
the
bad.
kids.
It was only like 400 people. That's typical. Anyway, but my point is, like, I mixed people up. Everyone would sit at a table. Everyone had someone they knew, and then everybody else was new. And that's kind of what we do in our life. I mean,
yeah,
that's part of our thing. It's like you guys. It makes us so happy when we see you talking to each other and becoming a thing together, being friends. So, like, that's just really important.
Yes, Megan, our Christmas party is open to the general public. And this year, if we get to do it, I think we're going to end up doing it outside. I'm trying to buy some of those like outdoor European like heating things so we can do it outside so we don't have to worry about
Good night,
that.
Melinda. Oh, root canal redone tomorrow.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, sugar. And then you have live stream tomorrow night. Y'all, tomorrow night, Gallivant and Gals, Melinda's having a root canal. So let's all support her tomorrow night.
Trace gets a knee redone. But I think the important thing is Melinda with a root canal because, damn it,
you can't speak, though.
I know, that's what
I wasn't belittling
I was
Tracy's...
just saying.
Okay.
Tracy.
Love y'all.
I love you. And Trace, I love you.
I do. Oh, shut up, Mark. Francis, thank you. I do love those little interior design games. They're kind of like my thing, especially when I'm on a plane.
She'll have Liam do them and be like, oh my God, look what Liam did. Oh my God. Yeah. He needs to know his skills.
He needs to understand color
coordination. Well, maybe if someone like a parent
that has
color design could help him.
I loved my color theory class. That was one of my favorite classes I've ever done. It was really fun. All right.
Hey, Talia. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the reason why I say Talia is like that is because I remember there's a Talia, a singer from Mexico who was just amazing back in the day.
Is it? Have I really been saying it wrong all the time? It's Talia and not Talia. I am so sorry. I super freaking suck. God, I'm embarrassed. I'm an ass, and I apologize.
So, friends, oh my God, Christmas with the Wolters. I'd brave the Midwest snow for that. We don't get snow that early. We get snow later.
It's open to the general public this year, right? So, no, because of COVID. Actually,
that's why we're going to have it outside. We're going to make it outside.
Our plan is vaguely okay. Okay, Mark's idea, and guess who's going to have to implement? Oh, because you can build a freaking Christmas market.
I could pay people to build a Christmas market.
Why would you do that when you have a wife that can do it?
Well, dude, how much are your skills?
I don't know. What are you going to pay me?
I don't know. You can get it done.
I want a Japanese toilet and I want an Arrow Saarinen tulip
table.
I found one. Really
if I have my German Christmas market in the front of my house, in my driveway, you can have it all. All of it. You saw it here.
Y'all are my witnesses.
Waiting.
All right.
I don't see. You know what Christmas is? Ho, ho, who wouldn't know? Here comes Santa.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Talia says Costco is the best heat lamp things. We have one in Arizona. Yes, you use that for like, what, a week?
No, because for them, when it gets below, 107, it's like cold, right? Oh, wait, because the
desert does get cold.
No, so one of my friends, he teaches at the University of Arizona, and he's
a newbie.
He's a newbie. They closed their pool. It was 102 during the day, but they closed their pool for the season because it got too cold.
No, they closed their pool because they're from Central Illinois, and they don't realize that you don't close it until November. Actually, we didn't even close ours. We just didn't use it for a month, and then we did a deep clean. We had the guy come and clean it. I don't think we ever closed our pool in Arizona. Ever. No, they just don't know that.
Okay.
I need to talk to
Holy
them.
Christian.
Mark's such a good singer.
That's why I have friends like Christian that actually know how to sing.
Katie was on here earlier, and I missed saying hi. So, Katie, darling, if you're still here, hi. Katie, Christian's girlfriend.
Oh.
They are half a continent away from each other. And dears, we know what that's like.
Yep.
We did it with an ocean between us, and look, we made it. And we're
that's
good,
right.
And we're happy.
Very happy. Super happy. Yay.
Shut up, butthead.
Bubba Spartan. I just realized we'd have been getting home from our cruise today. Dude,
honey,
my
don't
phone.
Think about it.
So during our 4-week trip.
It's a dry heat.
During our 4-week trip, there was multiple trips we had scheduled to leave and come back from. So while we've been there, I missed New York, Rhode Island, Jocelyn in England, and we should have been leaving for Ireland as well.
Do you want to talk about our summer trip where we missed like 7 countries?
Yeah.
We don't even know to go there.
Hey, spoiler alert. In this year's 12 Days of Christmas video, the 4th day is 4 canceled trips, and it's going to be funny.
It's going to be hopefully funny because
otherwise
it'll make me cry.
Funny in that way that someone just freaking fell off the side of the building and broke their back. Kind of funny.
Lee, of course I have BritBox because I have issues.
Father Brown.
Oh my goodness. I love British TV. You know, one of my favorite shows is Last of the Summer Wine. Nobody else likes it but me. Actually, my friend Father Darian likes it.
Chrysler is Christian's girlfriend.
Yes, I know.
I didn't know.
I know.
No one tells me anything, Christian.
Of course, Troy, there will be Glühwein at our Christmas market.
All right, I already have 6 bottles. Boom.
So you know how I stockpile Reese's eggs from Easter all the way through the year? Mark does that with Glühwein. And we do drink it all year. I love to do that.
And I do have my mom's wine, Vassal wine.
From
recipe.
Britain in the 90s.
Ooh.
I have watched
Kogi
is 30 miles.
Kogi is 30 miles from Death Valley. No closing pool ever. That's right. Ever.
Yeah. Give me all the Glühwein. Hey, so hints on Glühwein. You can get it at most of your major
Aldi's
stores, but
Aldi's
is the place to get it.
Aldi. There's no S in Aldi.
It isn't.
I know.
Aldi
weird.
is
the S is
the
S is silent in Aldi. So Aldi has it. You can get it there. Your local liquor store might have it, but it'll be like overpriced. So just go to Aldi and buy it there.
Bonnie, September was my African safari.
Oh God, that kills me.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Although Tanzania is still open to Americans.
I thought Rwanda was. They both are?
I haven't watched Last Tango in Halifax. Is that something I should watch, Megan? I'll try it. Tried to change it to my name. It wouldn't let me. What?
So Christian says, yes, we know how much you've drank tonight, Mark. How much Glühwein do you have?
I know, y'all. He's going to snore like a dead walrus tonight. Not a dead walrus.
So I'm going to sleep in the basement tonight, and ain't no one going to bother me.
You are not going to sleep in the basement. I don't like it when you sleep away from me.
Except when I snore or fart or talk or make inappropriate sounds with my body. Yeah, kiss my butt, girl.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Oh.
Goodness.
Oh,
Goodness.
Francis said, I saw an Aldi in Verona and almost died. Honey, they're from Germany originally. Aldi and Lidl, Lidl. Lidl did not come to the States, but Aldi
I think they are.
Really? Are they?
I don't know. But all I know is all my students that work for Aldi are scared to death of Lidl.
Because they were two brothers and they split off. I'm pretty sure that's right. I know that's what happened with Adidas. But I'm 99% sure that Aldi and Lidl were one. No?
There's Aldi Nord and Aldi Sud.
Oh, Nord and Sud. All right. So, my BFF's husband was transferred to Munich for 2 years at winter, and 5 minutes after they arrived, I locked on their door with my skis. We went to all the Christmas markets, drunk Glühwein for days. Lee, that sounds like a brilliant thing. You know what? There's a lot of things I'm missing this year about our friends, and the things that we do yearly in Europe. And like I was talking to our friend Robertina today. She's in Italy, and
yes, Lee.
It hurts.
Joe.
It hurts here. Yeah. Francis, I understand the surprise. I get it, but it is kind of funny when you're like, hey, this thing that I have and I'm totally used to here is there too. I get it.
So Kagi says, one brother owns Trader Joe's now. Well, what it is, Trader Joe's is actually another company, and one of the Aldi brothers, or one of the companies the Aldi brothers founded, invested in it and helped promote it. It's not like they're owned by them. It's just they're invested, so they're part owners. Oh, M&S. I like M&S too, Thomas.
I like M&S.
M&S. So every time we get into Heathrow, we walk out and there's that little M&S store. Right when you walk out, we get all our sandwiches and all our snacks for the drive.
We get ready, and that's where we stock up for the drive because we never stay right away. No. London's on our way out.
Yeah, and so we'll get our bag full of food, and then we go to the Europa car place and
get our car and get
going.
You know what? I had to have my dishwasher fixed today, and the repairman was from southwest London-ish, and it was funny because he came in and we started chatting, and I was like, "So where are you from?" He's like, he's like, "I'm English," and I was like, I know, but I can't quite place.
Shocker.
the accent, like exactly where, and he was like, "Oh, London," and I was like, "Oh, one of my best friends lives in Brighton." But he was okay, so I'm down that direction. I was like, "All right, we get it." So we sat and we chatted, and we were talking about, as I was writing the check to pay him, I said, "Hey, how do you do with your dates? Because in much of the world, you put the day the month. No. Yeah, you put the day, the month, the year. And in the States, we put the month, the day, the year. And I said, because sometimes it still throws me. Even, I was born and raised in the States, and I only lived abroad for, a short amount of time in comparison. And still, sometimes when I'm filling out forms, that throws me off. I don't know why. It's really stupid of me. But we started talking about that and about how he's like, I've been here for a year now. And he's like, I only screwed up once on the driving. He goes, but I try to get in the wrong side of the car all the time. And that is something I do. And then we started laughing. I was like, it's either get in the wrong side of the door or I go to look in. He's like the rear view mirror. Like we were both just started laughing about how difficult that is. I don't even know what made me think of that. What made me think of, just M&S and just, our driving.
So Reggie and her man is in the house.
Hey, Reggie.
And Reggie just got an oldie close to her, but they don't sell liquor.
Yeah, only some of them sell liquor, and I don't know what that's
like
about.
our one sells like Glühwein, that Christmas wine, and like some shitty beer, and that's about it. So.
But they have some decent wines, like inexpensive but not terrible. Better than $2 Chuck. Because by the way,
God, $2 Chuck from old Trader Joe's is horrible.
I don't know who decided that was.
I thought
somebody told me that, and I was like, wow, this is not palatable.
I thought I had bad hangovers before, but then I had $2 Chuck, and it took it to the next level.
Yeah, right. Do you like peanut puff snacks from Germany?
So, Reggie, I used to live in Germany. I would have it. I never got into it like the Germans did. But I did think Germany had some really good. Okay, so the pork rinds in Germany are like next level good, and their barbecue potato chips were really good. I would go for those over the peanut puffs, but the peanut puffs were all over the place. So yeah, they're pretty popular there.
I'm glad Thomas says he has the same
Night
problem
Bubba
with
Spartan.
the car thing. Kalinikta. The Nike.
So. Nikki, M&S, I think grocery shop there in the store. I love it. Yeah, Kagi, I'm with you with the $2 Chuck. It is horrible. Yeah. Horrible. What's your product?
I know, I was thinking that same thing. Somebody needs to get some Nanikia. Nanikia means it's like what you say to a little kid. It's like like take a nap. But we have always said it to our kids when they go to sleep at night. But it's actually Nanikia.
Yeah, don't buy the wine at Aldi. It's all for the cheap beer. That's the only thing.
All they had was Stella?
No.
Stella wine, not Stella beer. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna straight vomit that. But hey, you're gonna have the worst thing ever.
Hang on, there's a Facebook group. I think it's like Aldi's Nerds or something like that. Katie, look for it. It's a really fun thing because they're talking about all the different great products they have there. But a lot of the stuff at Aldi is they have organic and gluten-free and like things that are very conscientious because they are a German thing, and German, the EU has very specific rules. So their mindset is on that. So you can buy really great things at really low cost. So check that out. But anyway, all right, so we're going to sign off. I have enjoyed talking to all of you. Thank you for joining us and hanging out and sharing some whiskey. And we will see you soon. When's our next live feed? Do we have a date yet?
I do not have a date yet. I have to look at our schedule.
Our schedule.
And then I will send it out. So on YouTube, on Professor Wolters, on Wolters World, and Simply Jocelyn, I'll send out a thing there. Also, for our superheroes out there, they'll come on Superheroes on our Facebook channel, also on Patreon, and a special thing on our community tab on Wolters World. And we will be sending out stuff about when our next ones are. But there will be a big one on Wolters World and a Superheroes Only one coming up. So we'll have some fun stuff. At least next couple of weeks we'll have one.
We're also, y'all, we're going to be inundating you with a bunch of videos and Instagram posts and whatever from our trip. So you can see what it was really like traveling during this COVID thing and trying to travel and do all the things we normally do and still like kind of socially distance and whatnot. And also online school for our kids and for Mark. So interesting stuff. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Hugs, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, thanks everybody.